All doing? Good to see you all. Welcome back to Premier League Dad. I am a little bit late. I know I'm a little bit late. But yes, we're back for Sheffield United against Sunderland. It's the Championship playoff final at Wembley. It's a massive one. I'm really looking forward to this. I am rooting for Sunderland. I'm going to level with you. I'm rooting for Sunderland. I am hoping that Sunderland are going to win this one. But I suspect Sheffield United just about get it done. That's my opinion up to now. I want to hear your predictions, your opinion on this one. I want to hear your opinion on lots of other things. There's been loads of news that's happened already in the last 24 hours since we last spoke. Florian Wirtz to Liverpool now taking a serious twist. It looks like that one's actually happening. Will Still has signed his contract to become Southampton manager. What's going to happen with the new Leicester position? Ruud van Nistelrooy has confirmed he's leaving the club. Jurgen Klopp having a go at the Liverpool fans, saying he's never been more disappointed at them booing Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm a little bit angry about that one. I'll tell you something. I'll reply to that one. We'll have a little think about that one. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Ryan Gravenberch winning the Young Player of the Year. Mo Salah about to win Player of the Year. Bruno Fernandes being offered to Al Hilal for £100 million in the Saudi League. Manchester United, it's all just falling apart. Rumours that Alexander Isak is about to leave Newcastle, potentially as well, depending on what happens this weekend. There's still, up in the air whether or not Newcastle managed to make Champions League football. All that's still to be decided. What about Ange Postecoglou, of course, as well? Ange Postecoglou, during the parade for Spurs, talking about, wow, the third season's always better than the second season. He's given us another soundbite. He said he always wins something in his second year, and he did. He delivered in the midst of pelters. And in the third season, he said third season's always better than the second. So I like Ange Postecoglou, and I hope he does kick on with Spurs next season. What else do we need to be talking about? David Moyes has come out and said that Everton are speaking to Liam Delap and also to Liverpool's Ben Doak. Now, Ben Doak has been on loan at Middlesbrough his last season. He's very highly thought of at Liverpool. Probably would expect somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 million quid for him. Very talented young player who's done well in the Championship. And if we were to let him go to Everton, could that open the door for Liverpool to sign Jared Branthwaite? We know Jared Branthwaite wants to leave the club as well. I do wonder with that one. Everton fans about to find out on Monday, apparently, what is happening with the three out-of-contract players, the other three out-of-contract players that are maybe set to leave the club. Michael Keane, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and the one I'm sure they all really, really don't want to lose, Idrissa Gana Gueye. So, yeah, really intrigued to see what everyone thinks of that one. Really intrigued to see what, I guess, where your head's at on all those things. We'll talk about them throughout the live today, as I'm sure we will go on. But I do just want to say, of course, before we get started, before we get stuck in, a massive, massive thank you to our sponsors for the 24-25 season, Match Bingo. Match Bingo. If you've never heard of them before, I am absolutely certain you'll love them. If you like a bet on the football, as I do, Match Bingo are an innovative and cool new way of betting on the football. They combine all the excitement and all the fun that you get with a bet on the football, traditional sports and football betting, with a bet, with a game of bingo. We all like a game of bingo. And the way that it works is you buy a bingo card, and that bingo card will have 15 random events on that can take place during a game of football. It will be things like, for example, corner to Liverpool, free kick to Crystal Palace, and as those things happen during the game, you will see them ticked off on your card, and you get prizes for a line, prizes for two lines, prizes for a full house, same as you do in bingo, and you'll just be waiting for things to happen during the game to win your cash. There's over £200,000 of prize money paid out by Match Bingo already to over 10,000 players in the UK, and it's growing really, really quickly. If you do want to support Premier League Dad, if you want to support the channel, you can go and set up your account right now. If you deposit just £5, you'll get £10 free to try it out. And they are supporting our growth, they're supporting Premier League Dad. So if you want a cool way of supporting the channel, that's a really, really good way of doing it. You'd be doing me a massive favour and doing yourself a massive favour. Go and check it out. They're absolutely brilliant and really, really good guys over there at Match Bingo. You've got a limited time to do it as well because it's only until the end of May. The final game that you can play Match Bingo on this offer is the Champions League final on the 31st. So, again, if you do want to help the channel, if you want to support us, that would be a really lovely way of you doing so. But I appreciate all the support, all the love and everything. It's been absolutely amazing, and I'm really looking forward to today's game again. Sheffield United against Sunderland, the Blades against the Mackhams. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking. I can see the chat already going off. Let's get live on the other place as well. Let's get live on the other place, and then we can get going. Substore, Ethan, you're late. Christ, I'm getting told off already. Should be punished. I love my Will still. Russell Martin to Leicester, you think? Okay, Russell Martin to Leicester. Kieran, love to see Sunderland back in the Prem. But I think Sheffield will get it 2-1 to Sheffield United, yeah. Sadly, I think so too, mate. Yeah, sadly, I think so too. Substop, even though they beat us, I would prefer Sunderland to win. Yeah, at least then you can say Coventry went out to the eventual winners, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? I understand where you're coming from. Ethan, not going to lie, I only bet on Sky Bet. Well, Ethan, check it out. Give it one cursory go before the end of the season. You won't regret it, mate. You will not regret it. Right, let's catch up with the chat on the other place. 1 second. Let's get all set up and ready to go. I don't think we've got the team news out for these two just yet. Yeah, I don't think we have any team news out for them. Let's see. Yamin, how's it going, Yamin? Good to see you. Jonathan Guzman, Sunderland are going to the Premier League. I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm really hoping so. I really would like to. I'd like him to. Certainly not Sheffield United. Isabella, what do you think of Foden? As a player, I don't rate Phil Foden. Yeah, I don't rate Phil Foden. I think he's a player that you have to be... I think you have to be sort of aware of as an opposite. I think he's obviously going to be City's heartbeat for the remaining years that he's at the club. He's not going to leave City. He's obviously had some issues off the pitch, is what he's been talking about. That's why he's withdrawn from the England side. But his performances at City this year have not been very good. So, I'll be honest though, he won Player of the Year last year, and I didn't think he was that good then. So, I don't know. I don't rate Foden particularly as a player. I don't think he's ever going to be a starter for England. But I think he has to be playing regularly for Manchester City because he's come through the academy and there's not many better than him at that number 10 spot. He's the perfect replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, isn't he? Jonathan Guzman, Newcastle v Sunderland is going to feed generations to come. Chris Headley, Eke, thoughts on Newcastle United season? Well, they've won a League Cup, so I mean that's great, isn't it? They've done something that they never thought they would do. They haven't done it for decades, so a really, really good season in that sense for Newcastle. However, I would also say that Newcastle might only qualify for the Champions League by the skin of their teeth. There's a very good possibility that Newcastle don't actually make the Champions League. I honestly think that Everton get a result against them at the weekend, and if Everton get a draw at St James's Park, Everton have been known to be a very, very difficult side to beat under David Moyes. They only need a draw. If they get a draw against Newcastle, Chelsea beat Forest, Villa beat United, both of which I can see happening, if I'm dead honest with you, then Newcastle are in the Europa League. They have to beat Everton. They have to beat Everton at St James's Park. And do you know what? I'm sure at the start of the season they'd have taken that. The League Cup in the bag, and you have to beat Everton on the final day to get Champions League football. Fine. But what I'm saying is they've not cruised into the Champions League. There was Newcastle fans not long ago saying, we're gonna get into the Champions League and we're gonna finish second in the league table. We're gonna be runners up. We're gonna be challenging for the title next season. I think there's an element of maybe just get back in your box a little bit. Let's just get back in the box with Newcastle. They've had a fantastic season domestically, and they've not been in Europe. That's maybe a part of it. The next challenge for Newcastle is trying to get back in the top 5 next year and staying in Europe as well. That's a challenge. As we've seen, Aston Villa have found it very difficult. Newcastle found it very difficult 2 seasons ago. So, yeah, I think it's... Newcastle have had a very good season. They deserve a lot of praise, a lot of plaudits. Eddie Howe's done really well. Isak's been phenomenal. But I think there's a real chance that Newcastle miss out on the Champions League spots. Definitely. Ethan, I might use it tomorrow then. Yes. Cheers, Ethan. Yeah, that'd be really good if you could, mate. Kieran, how have you not got 5k subs yet? I know, mate. We're still only like 20 away on YouTube. And to be honest, I think a big part of that is because I've stopped posting videos. We're just doing lives. We've been doing lives every single day. And I've not been doing any videos at all since like the start of April. So it has slowed down a little bit because of the videos. But we're getting so much engagement and so much people from all over the different clubs all over the world who are watching us on the lives. And because we're doing such a diverse number of lives, it's really helping. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Fernie, hope Sunderland win. The best team we've played this season, in my opinion. Okay, who do you support, Fernie? Marco, why does the game start at 3:01 p.m. and not 4 p.m? It's because of the Every Minute Counts initiative, which was set up by Tom Lockyer, I believe, who is a Luton Town player he collapsed. I don't know if you remember in the 23-24 Championship playoff final. He collapsed like Christian Eriksen did for Denmark. Other players have done in the past. He collapsed. He nearly died on the pitch. The poor guy. He got resuscitated. I think he collapsed again. Managed to get his career sort of back on track. He played a handful of games for Luton in the Premier League, and then he hasn't played a game since. Hasn't played at all this season. And at 30 years old, I think his career is effectively over. Very sad, but he's a very, very talented player. It's really sad to see him ending his career that way. But that's the initiative, because he nearly, passed away in a Championship final. They've done that now for all of the Championship and League 1, League 2 playoff finals. They all kick off at 1 minute past as a reminder of that. So that's why. Jack Fender 27, doesn't matter how you qualify as long as you qualify. Absolutely agree. Totally agree. Louis Wooders, is there a way neither team can win today? No. I think it could go the distance, though, for what it's worth. Yeah. Smudger171, Everton don't like Newcastle. That's true. Yeah, they really don't. Gravenberg enthusiast, when Liverpool get Wirtz, do they make him a false nine or replace Sobbo? I think neither, to be honest. I think he might end up playing wide left. Fraser, who do you fancy today? I think Sheffield United. I'm hoping for Sunderland, but I think it might well be Sheffield United. Ethan, Premier League dad, what do you think of us with Will Still? Great, yeah. I think he's a really solid appointment, that, for Southampton. Will Still to Southampton. I think he'll get you right. Yeah, he'll get you right. Fernie, hope Sunderland win. Best team we've played this season. That's from a Leeds fan. Ethan, also, did you hear the myth that we play well under a ginger manager? I don't know. Who's the last ginger manager that Southampton had? It was Gordon Strachan, wasn't it? That's the last ginger manager I remember you having. Chris Headley, can top 10 Premier League teams get European football next season? No, not anymore. There is a chance that 8 can if Chelsea win the Conference League, but not anymore. No. Kane, good to see you, Kane. See, let's all laugh at Man United. Craig, good to see you, Craig. I actually want Sheffield United to win because they could give Man U and Spurs a relegation fight. Okay. Dipesh Batter, Forest and Chelsea prediction. I think Chelsea 2-1. Yeah, I think Chelsea 2-1. Jonathan Guzman, are Real Madrid winning today? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I don't think it matters though, does it? It's the final day of La Liga. All of La Liga games just don't really make any difference to anything now. It's a bit of a pointless... just a load of friendlies at the end of the season. Salvatore Plumeri, Esteval, Willian beats Yamal. No. Pedri Lover 13, what game is this? It is Sheffield United against Sunderland in the Championship playoff final. It kicks off at 3 p.m. We are live a good hour and a half or hour and a bit before kick-off. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how this one goes on. RB praying for the Sunderland win for Tyne Derby. Nice. Gio, how's it going? Good to see you. AM10, I reckon Everton will get a draw against Newcastle. Me too. Alfie Samwell, Moyes. Moyes didn't manage Southampton, sorry. We were talking about ginger managers managing Southampton, because Southampton have just managed to appoint Will Still. If you know who Will Still is, famous ginger herd manager from Liga. Ronald Koeman. Oh yeah, Ronald Koeman was ginger. Okay, so you've had Ronald Koeman, Laurie McMennie, Nigel Adkins, Gordon Strachan, and Claude Puel. Rubes, hey grandpa. Substub, we're looking at a Villa defender. What Villa defender? Ah yeah, I forgot about Ronald Koeman. Jonathan Guzman, bro, do you think Arsenal are beating Southampton tomorrow? Yes. Yes, absolutely they are. NUFC Kyle, good to see you. Up the Mags. Neb H14, up the Mackhams. Be good to see the time we're Derby back next season, won't it? Yeah, hopefully that's the case. But something tells me Sheffield United probably pinch it today. I'll be a little bit gutted if that is the case. I love my girlfriend, 0610, up the tune. RB, I want Sunderland to win for the return of the town derby. Dylan Kelly, champions of Europe, we know what we are. Yeah, get in Spurs. What a win that was for Spurs. I'm still absolutely bouncing. I've got a clothes hanger. I've got a coat hanger in my mouth from the last few days. The smile that's been on my face because of Spurs beating them. Deep fake Alan Ball. Yeah, little curly Alan Ball. Oh, how did we forget about him? Premier League dad, you're not my favourite anymore unless you say we will win the championship. We've got a bloody good chance, I think, with Will Still now. You're going to have to invest, definitely. Definitely need some quality in there. But I think he'll get the best out of Sulemana. I think there's some talented players. I wonder if he'll keep Tyler Diblin. I wonder if Tyler Diblin just feels he might stay there now. I don't know. Reese, good to see you, mate. Really hoping Sunderland win. Cannot stand Sheffield United. Hang on a second. In the Prem, they're so boring. Who do you want to win? I'd like Sunderland to win. Full disclosure, I would like Sunderland to win. Because I want to see Newcastle v Sunderland next year. And I quite like the way that Sunderland play. I don't like the way that Chris Wilder plays. I don't particularly like Sheffield United. I've not got anything against them. Like, I don't hate them or anything. Like, if you're asking me to, like, stamp a flag to the mast, it would be for Sunderland today. But I do think, if you're asking me who I actually think will win, I think Sheffield United are the better team, and probably they do go up. So, yeah, I think it'll be Sheffield United, but I'm kind of rooting for Sunderland. Alfie Samuel, oh sorry mate, I missed that bit. No worries. Reese, Sean Dyche technically counts as ginger, right? He does, yes, he does, but he's never managed Southampton as far as I'm aware. Page 49, do you know why the game's kicking off at 3:01? Yeah, we've just been talking about it. It's due to the Every Minute Counts initiative, or supporting Tom Lockyer, who, if you remember, Luton Town midfielder, collapsed on the pitch due to his heart stopping. I think he collapsed twice actually on the pitch. And it's an initiative to acknowledge that every minute counts when something like that happens. There's probably a bigger picture with it, but that's why the games are kicking off at 1 minute past. Alfie Samuel, there's only one Carlos Tevez. Loved Carlos Tevez, even as a Liverpool fan. I thought he was a brilliant player. G. Lawrence 94, thoughts on Klopp's comments regarding Liverpool fans booing Trent. Don't agree with him. I didn't agree with a lot of things that Jurgen Klopp said during his tenure as Liverpool manager sometimes, when he spoke about things that I don't think he quite understands, if I'm dead honest with you. I've no problem at all with Jurgen Klopp backing his mate, which he is doing. That's the same with Mo Salah and Andy Robertson. They know Trent Alexander-Arnold personally, and I'm sure they've had conversations with him that, they're a little bit closer to the situation, and therefore it's a sensitive matter for them. But they've also not grown up supporting Liverpool. They've also not invested 30 years in the club like I have, or sometimes even longer with other sets of fans. Trent Alexander-Arnold's entitled to do whatever he wants with his career. And I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is not naive enough to realise that he wouldn't have got this reaction. He knows how Liverpool fans would have felt It's not about him leaving, it's how he's done it. He's conducted himself awfully, hasn't he? He's conducted himself truly awfully, and I think the way Jurgen Klopp's responded to it, it's a little bit disappointing. But again, it doesn't really taint anything for me. Jurgen Klopp's not Liverpool manager anymore. I'm sure he will defend his mate. But he's not a fan of the club. He's not a supporter of the club. He doesn't understand the standard that Trent Alexander-Arnold elevated himself to. It's not the same as... See, it's mad. Jurgen Klopp only spoke about Trent Alexander-Arnold in the same way as, like, Coutinho or Emre Can or Gini Wijnaldum or other players who've left us on a free, or other big players who've left us when we didn't want them to leave. There's been lots of players who've left Liverpool when we didn't want them to leave, and there's not been this sort of an uproar. Trent Alexander-Arnold elevated himself beyond those. That's why it's such a problem. And that's why no one will agree with what Jurgen Klopp said. Are you a Spurs fan? No, not a Spurs fan. I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Jonathan Guzman, what do we think of Tottenham? Gio, good to see you too, lad. Can't wait for the trophy lift tomorrow. The trophy lift tomorrow. Have you heard that it's Alan Hansen giving the trophy to Virgil van Dijk as well? I am made up with that. He's a top guy, you know. Alan Hansen, sorry. Virgil van Dijk probably is as well. But Alan Hansen's a lovely, lovely man. And top English, Scottish, top Liverpool centre-back from over the years. One of the best, one of the absolute greatest. Apparently giving the trophy to Virgil van Dijk. And I think he's been poorly as well recently. So looking forward to that. Get in words, says Eric. Reece, Tom Lockyer collapsed during this game when we played Coventry. I was there. It was proper scary to see, yeah. Harley, bro isn't Mark Goldbridge. I wouldn't mind being a pound behind him in the bank. I'm not professing to be Mark Goldbridge. But hey, I do more games than Mark Goldbridge. Mark Goldbridge does his own thing and blah, blah, blah. But hey, Mark Goldbridge only did 16 games last month. I did 16. I did 18 last week. You get more volume, quality and quantity on this channel. Jacob UTV, what's your score predictions in the Prem tomorrow? Score predictions in the Prem tomorrow. To be honest, mate, there's only about 3 games worth watching. I think Newcastle and Everton draw 1-1. I think Liverpool and Palace sit on the halfway line with a load of bevies. And it probably finishes maybe 1-0 or 1-1. I think Spurs and Brighton draw. I think Villa beat United. I think Chelsea beat Forest. Everything else, couldn't tell you. Ethan, the rivalry with Villa, I think we will get Kane, Kessler, Hayden. All right, okay. Ethan, Premier League dad, I mean, if you look at how Kyle Walker-Peters has announced he is leaving, Trent isn't that bad. Why? How has Kyle Walker-Peters announced he's leaving? I've not heard anything about him. I knew he was leaving, but he's known he's been leaving for a while, hasn't it? Rubes, he was one of the last Liverpool captains to win the league. He was, yeah, Alan Hansen. Bramscode, hello, do you have Leon jersey? No. Harley, mate, I'm a United fan and I don't like Goldbridge. He's not even a United fan. I think he is a United fan. I mean, I know he grew up in Nottingham, but I think he is a United fan. Tom, hey up Premier League dad, how are we, pal? Good to see you, Tom. Yeah, really good, mate. Really, really good. Looking forward to this one. Gio, yes, buzzing for tomorrow, you Reds. Jonathan Guzman, it's always a pleasure to hop on this chat, mate. Got to get some errands done before this Madrid game. No worries, Jonathan. Take it easy, mate. Have a good day, whatever you're doing. NUFC Kyle, are you sure? I thought it was 1 hour before. Thoughts on Forest owner banning Gary Neville? Well, he's not the Forest owner, is he, Marinakis? He has been. He's put his shares into a trust, and he's not, in theory or technically on paper, he hasn't actually got anything to do with the club anymore. But yeah, I mean, look, Gary Neville. You can't go around saying what you want about clubs and not expecting anything to happen, can you? Rebecca Nolan, hi big boy. Tell you what, Rebecca, you're an angry little soldier. You're an angry little soldier, you, aren't you, Becky? Tom, good. Wish I could watch it, but stuck in work. Ah, well, listen, mate, if you can keep us on, we'll keep you updated. Henry, hope Sunderland win today. Would love to see them play Newcastle in the Prem. Yeah, absolutely. Dylan Pample should have been West Brom. Mate, West Brom was shocking those last few games of the season, weren't they? Absolutely shocking. Adam, I missed the time weird derby. Yeah, me too. I always remember. Well, I mean, there's loads of time weird derbies I remember. But I remember Jermaine Defoe scoring an absolute worldie at the stadium. I like that volley. And I remember Shola Amiobi scoring one. It wasn't at the Gallagate, it was the opposite end at St James's Park. Absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, always good games. Always good games. Jacob, what 6 teams from England do you think will be in the Champions League next season? Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea and Villa. Yeah, I think Chelsea and Villa. Something tells me that Everton are going to get a draw against Newcastle tomorrow. And I think Villa beat United and Chelsea beat Forest. And that's what's going to be the decider. Henry would be typical Villa if Forest beat Chelsea, but we fail to pick up points v United. I honestly think your best chance of it is going to be Everton getting a point against Newcastle. That's more likely than Forest beating Chelsea. Real Madrid, who do you think will win? Sunderland or Sheffield United? I think Sheffield United. I'm hoping for Sunderland, but I do think Sheffield United get it done. Adam464AD. Are Spurs the officially worst Europa winners? Oh, I don't know about that. There's been some bad Europa winners over the years. I don't know about Europa, but going back a little bit further, I remember Zenit St. Petersburg beating Rangers in the cup final. I think that was the UEFA Cup, wasn't it? At the City of Manchester Stadium. They were awful. They were absolutely awful, that one. What was the Zenit side? 2008 it was. 2008 UEFA Cup final, 2-0. And it was Arshavin. And you probably couldn't name any other players in there. Probably wasn't another player in there. Bill and Frank, are you going to watch Sunderland against Sheffield today, mate? Yeah, that's what we're watching right now. That's it. That's the game we're watching. You can watch us over on YouTube now as well. Obviously, we have the scoreboard, the clock, and all that sort of stuff going off. Goal animations going on as well. Rubes, I know Shola and his family. Really? Okay. Shola and Sammy. Reese, Mikel Arteta is a better manager than Ange. There, I said it. You don't believe that, mate. NUFC Kyle, Chelsea and Forest can't if one of them qualify. No, Chelsea and Villa. Didn't I say Chelsea and Villa? Did I say Chelsea and Forest? Sorry. I meant Chelsea and Villa. Chelsea and Villa, I think it'll be. Reese, I saw you had a new goal animation yesterday, Prem Dad. It looked very good. Cheers, man. Thank you very much, sir. Real Madrid, I want Sunderland to win because I want to see the derby back versus Newcastle. They're showing all of the old playoff final games where Sunderland have won. Niall Quinn, Kevin Phillips. Sub-stub, I've got my Nesquik and squirty cream. Was that Sasa Ilic? Goalkeeper. Yeah, Gray missing the penalty for Sunderland and Charlton went up. I remember that one. Phillips and Niall Quinn, they were some centre-forward pair then, weren't they? They were some centre-forward pair. NUFC Kyle 39, why are you called Prem Dad? Because I used to go and watch all the games and I used to go and watch him live, but now I'm a dad. I've got a little girl, so I can't anymore. It's far too expensive. And so now I'll watch the games with you. Now we sit and we watch all the footy together with you. Whether you want to or not, I'm going to be watching all the footy. I do live watch-alongs every single day. And most of it started out just being the Premier League, but now we do everything. So we do the playoffs, we've done We've done Liga and we've done the Bundesliga. We're doing the German Cup final tonight, the Bundesliga Cup final tonight. Arminia against Stuttgart. We're doing that one. We do La Liga, we do Serie A. Did Serie A yesterday, Napoli winning the Scudetto. So yeah, we watch everything on this channel. Plus, Premier League is as a moniker is like something that's very good. And I'm a good dad. I'm a good dad. Yeah, football dad, yeah. Reese, really, he should be called the I watch any football that's on dad. Hey, listen, I'll have you know, we're very choosy about the football we watch on this channel. We're watching we're watching the King's Cup, the Saudi King's Cup next week. Al Ittihad versus Al Qadsiya. And we're also watching Jamaica against Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Cup final. So, yeah, we do watch really good footy on this channel, actually, but we do watch-alongs every single day. That's the promise that I made at the start of May. We would do a watch-along every single day, and we have done. Javier Troncoso Vega, greetings from Chile. Whereabouts in Chile? Santiago. I love Chile. I've always wanted to go to Chile. Beautiful place. Wendy, we need the Premier League to successfully... I don't know what you mean there, Wendy. Reece Crownshaw, Prem Dad, you watch the SPL playoff final with about 3 fans. You'll watch any football game. Tommy, or eat from Wembley. Good to see you, Tommy. How's it going? Wembley's maybe not as exotic as Chile, but it's equally nice to have you, mate. Equally nice to have you. Samir X69, thoughts on Luka Modric leaving? I'm intrigued to see where he goes. Allegedly, there's talks about him going to Swansea because he's got shares in Swansea apparently, hasn't he? There's talks of him going to Swansea. There's talks about him going to Leeds. That'd be an interesting move. Obviously, there's talks about Saudi and the MLS and all that, but yeah, interested to see what happens with Luka Modric. Adam, what do you think of Wirtz to Liverpool? I'm impressed with the Liverpool doing the business early. I love that. I love that we've just gone, that's the player we like, we're going getting him. That's showing major grade, putting him on the table. That's what we're about. So I like it. If I'm dead honest, I'm not 100% certain that I would have gone and got Florian Wirtz. I think for 150 million quid, he's a lot of money, and I don't know if he's going to quite be worth it in the end, but we'll see. Tommy, you're showing the game. I can't show the game, mate. I can't show the game. If I showed the game, the channel gets banned. So I'd love to. It's not me being unreasonable. I would love to show the game because my viewers and my subscribers and everything would go through the roof. But no, I can't show it. But we will be watching it here, and we'll be talking through it, and I'll be giving you updates and all that sort of thing as we go through the game. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. If you're not, then no problem at all. Breeze on by, mate. Curtis Webster, do you live stream the game, pal? I can't live stream the game with Curtis. For the same reason I've just said to Tommy, I'm not allowed to. Channel would get banned. Tudor, I love Athletic Bilbao. It's a lovely place. Henry, where do you think Grealish goes in the summer if he does? I think he is going to go. Allegedly, he's been sending texts to his friends saying that he's been frozen out by Pep Guardiola. I think he could end up back at Villa, I do. I think he could end up back at Villa. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Grealish back to Villa. Fernie, which game are you streaming tomorrow? If you click if you're on YouTube there, by the way, if you're on YouTube and you click on the live tab, go onto my channel, click live, there's literally a full schedule of all the games that I'm doing over the next week and a half, going into June and everything. So yeah, they're all mate. I can't remember what games we're doing tomorrow. I think we've got three. We've got 3 watch-alongs back to back tomorrow, but I can't remember off the top of my head which ones they are. Reese, a lot of people are saying Solanke should have been picked instead of Tony for England. I mean, I'm dead honest, I don't think either of them should have been. I don't think either of them are proper. They're not going to the World Cup. Solanke and Tony aren't going to the World Cup. NUFC Kyle, did you see the mess Sunderland left at Trafalgar? I haven't, no. What happened? Reese, because he won the Europa League. Right, okay. Kieran Baines, I've just come across your TikTok. I'm still on YouTube. I was scrolling away and saw you. Nice, okay. Cheers, Kieran. Well, yeah, give us a follow. Give us a follow on both of them, buddy. Whatever works for you. But yeah, YouTube, if you want to support the channel, it certainly benefits me to watch if you're watching on YouTube. It helps me more if you're watching on YouTube than on TikTok. But again, no pressure. Wherever you want to watch, that's cool. It looks a bit better on YouTube, I think. It looks a lot better. People seem to enjoy it more because it's got the scoreboard and the clock, and it's a better vibe. Plus, you're not limited on characters and stuff. You don't have to type a certain number of characters. You can do it longer on YouTube, whatever way you want to do it. But it's all good. Tommy, reckon Sheffield's getting smoked here. I hope so. I do hope so. I don't like Chris Wilder, personally. Nothing against Sheffield United, the club, but I'm not a massive fan of Chris Wilder. And I think Sunderland... I'd like Sunderland up, but I guess we'll see. Zero Requiem, hangover from all the Verts news. It's exciting. It is exciting. But again, I'm not sure I would have paid 100 and whatever we end up paying for him, 120, 130 million. Allegedly, by the way, there is a rumour that Liverpool aren't going to pay anywhere close to 100 million for him. It's actually going to be maybe 80 million plus a player. And apparently that player could be anyone from Tyler Morton, who has played in Germany before very successfully. Could be Tyler Morton, could be Harvey Elliott, could be... Oh no, Tyler Morton played for Salzburg, didn't he, at Leipzig? I can't remember who. Did he play for Leipzig or Salzburg? Either way, Tyler Morton, Harvey Elliott, Jarrell Kwanzaa, plus money for Florian Wirtz. All of those allegedly available this summer. Whether or not that happens, who knows? 1 second, let me catch up. Caleb, Kuna has joined United, but I think we're just waiting for the announcement. I think he'll be regretting that, though. I think he'll regret that. Zero Requiem, give them Yaros. I like Yaros. Timmy, back here again, lad. Good to see you, mate. Henry, I can't see him coming to us. Can't see where he would start. He's definitely... We're back on about Grealish again, aren't we? Yeah, I think Grealish... Newcastle want Grealish on loan as he admires St James's Park too, apparently, and we're interested. Yeah, I could see him going to another top 5, top 6 club, maybe. Wendy, we need the Premiership to be successful there, therefore we should scrap FFP as it's a global market. Who do you support, Wendy? I don't know where you're coming at that from. NUFC Kyle's a massive mess at Trafalgar from them sad Mackhams. Oh, God. Jacob, what do you think? The top 10 English clubs with the best history. Bloody hell. I don't know. We could argue all day about that. Geordie Rob, hi anyways. How rude of me, long time no see, Key. Good to see you, Rob. How you doing, mate? Yeah. Not that long. I think you've maybe missed the last couple of days of lives, but I don't hold that against you. It's all good. If most people, Christ, we're live every single day on this channel. If you're in these lives every single day, then I mean that's amazing. But if you just dip in and out every other day, that's fine. Love you to bits all the same. It's all good. But yeah, not everyone can watch every single day, so I understand that. You're not all as sad as me watching every game that's on the telly. Every single game that's going. Henry, just praying we hold on to Emi Martinez. Not a lot of proven goalkeepers in the market. I keep banging the drum. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record to a lot of people who've been on this channel for a while, but if you sold Emi Martinez, you went and got Quivine Kelleher, I think you've probably... broken even. Emi Martinez is a very good keeper. I think Quivine Kelleher is a very good keeper. He's a lot younger as well. He only gets better. So I think Quivine Kelleher, if you made a little bit less, you'd probably make 20 million. You'd sell Martinez for what, 50, 60 million quid. You'd get Kelleher for maybe 30, 40 at a push. You'd make 20 or 30. You could go and reinvest that in the squad. I think Villa are a stronger side if you make that move. But Martinez is a very good keeper, yeah. Samir X69, does Ronaldo make it into your all-time Premier League 11 or only as a sub? Only as a sub, yeah. Only as a sub. Geordie Rob, got to be in this one to see Sunderland get smoked. If I'm not here at half-time, you know why. Yes. I really do think Sunderland will get it done. I hope not, but I do think they will. Zero Requiem, I went from boo Trent to support Trent after hearing what Klopp said. No. Listen, honestly, I'm not a massive... I love Jurgen Klopp as a manager. Love him as a manager. But as a person, I think he respectfully needs to shut the hell up, you know. He doesn't... He's speaking on something he doesn't know anything about. He's speaking about a player that he's managed and has a close personal relationship with. And in the same way as Robertson and Mo Salah, he's invested in him because he's managed him for such a long time and he's worked with him, he knows him personally. But then we're not talking about Liverpool fans here. We're not talking about Liverpool fans. We're not talking about... I know I'm not a Scouser, but we're not talking about Scousers. Anyone who's got close local ties with the club for decades, going back generations and generations... I think that matters, because I think that's what Trent has lent into his entire career. So it's majorly hypocritical for the way Trent has conducted himself. Again, it's not about anger that he's leaving. That's what's annoyed me about the way Jurgen Klopp addressed it last night. He talked about it's fine to be angry, it's fine to be disappointed that he's leaving. No, Jurgen, no. Nobody's angry that he's leaving, disappointed that he's leaving. Yes, of course. He's the best right back in the world. We don't want him to leave. Of course. There would still be a small section of Liverpool fans who would be this annoyed and hating him and kicking off. They would be unreasonable no matter what. And that's fine. There's always going to be that small subsection. But we're talking about a majority of Liverpool fans here. Most of whom are not unreasonable. I'm not an unreasonable person. Trent Alexander-Arnold is entitled to do whatever he thinks is best and will benefit his career. No problem at all. I'm not an unreasonable guy, but the way he's gone about it is all wrong. It is all wrong. It's totally and utterly wrong. It is. He's lied. It's wrong. It's deceitful. And it smacks of hypocrisy. So for me, look, Jurgen Klopp, again, he knows the guy. I'm sure he'll defend him. No problem. But I don't think he has any right to speak about it. Or at least, I don't think he has any insight beyond knowing what Trent Alexander-Arnold's like. So, yeah. Rubes, in every day to annoy you. Good lad, Rubes. Zero Requiem, Villa, we can sell you Keller for 50 million quid. Substorm, I'm in most days. You are. Yes, you are. Daniel Kelleher is never winning the Yashin Trophy. You never know, he might do. Might do. Playing for Ireland. Not just anyone can play for Ireland. Right, hang on a second. Sorry. No, it's not lag. It's not lag. Sorry, mate. It's not lag. I got a phone call. I don't know why I got a phone call. It wasn't anyone like me. It was one of them spam calls, I think. But I got a phone call. Henry, just praying we hold on to Amy Martinez. 1 second. Geordie Rob, gotta be in this one. We've seen that one. Jacob, if Emmy goes to Saudi, we will get at least 100 million if Grealish goes. Grealish got bought for 100 million. No, Emmy's not going for 100 million. Emmy Martinez ain't going for 100 million. Zero Requiem. I'm only doing this for the last game. I'll still be upset with Trent after that. Okay, fair enough. Well, hey, listen. To each their own. You can behave how you want with it. I guess. It's totally up to everyone how you approach it. Timmy, I'm gonna miss Leyton Orient. I'm going to Leyton Orient tomorrow and Walsall. So we'll miss you the rest of the weekend. Okay, no worries, mate. Well, listen. Enjoy the games and all that sort of stuff. Jake Curtin, I agree with Klopp. I expected better from Liverpool, more class. You'll never walk alone. It's not about, mate, it really isn't. I don't think it's anything to do with class. If it was about class, then I think Trent Alexander-Arnold has behaved entirely not classy. Classless, I think he's behaved. So, yeah, that's my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah, I'll quite happily die on that hill that I think he's not quite it's not quite a sound decision. Kingsloth 18, come on Sunderland, I want something different in the Premier League this season. Cameron Vickers, Big Florian. Reese the PT, come on away the lads, sat looking at Arch right now, soaking it in, don't want to go in yet. Come on, Sunderland. Come on, Sunderland. Hoping so. Rubes, was it the wife ringing you? It wasn't the wife, no. It was the other lady in my life. It was my dear sweet mother phoning me. I don't know why. She must have wanted a lift or something, but she was phoning me. So I just had to make sure someone else phoned her back. I was saying, listen, I'm live. I can't come and help you now. You're gonna have to sort something else out. Cameron Vickers, it's the way he went about it that I'm annoyed at. Not annoyed about the deal. What's your thoughts on the Verts deal? This is it, Cameron. Absolutely right, mate. And this is why I know for a fact this is why Klopp has got completely the wrong end of the stick, and he doesn't understand Liverpool fans. If he spoke the way that he has last night, I heard his speech. For him to sit there and say, It's fine to be angry that he's leaving. That's fine. That's up to us to replace him. It's not that he's leaving. The anger isn't that he's leaving. The anger that's what's frustrating. That is what's frustrating. He's not. He's angry for a completely. Liverpool fans are angry for a completely different reason. It's nothing to do with the fact that he's leaving. 1 second. Mizanur, Rahman, Hamza Chowdhury. Don't like Hamza Chowdhury. He's a dirty player, isn't he? He chops players down. Daniel, it's not nice calling your mum a spam caller. That was a different one. I got called twice. I got a spam call and then I got a missed call off my mum. So that's what I was doing. I was frantically messaging my wife to be like, listen, can you just do me a favour and phone my mum and just make sure she's okay? Why is she ringing me? She should know. She knows I'm working. What are you doing? Sub Trent's certainly walking alone. Yeah, I mean, of course he's walking alone, but he's chose that path. He's chose that path. Kingsloth 18, I think this Trent thing needs to move on. It's done now. We all have a summer to look forward. And that as well, mate, you are dead right with that as well. I just wish Klopp would have just shut the hell up about it. We've all moved on. Nobody cares now. We've all moved on. We've had the grumble about it. He's been booed. He isn't going to play at the weekend, I would hope. Arne Slot has come out and said that he's not been training right. He's not been training right. Does that not tell you an awful lot as well? He's not been training right. Does that not tell you a lot? The world is a stage. Is it true Liverpool fans like their sisters more than family? Oh, you're an angry little soldier, Dan, aren't you? You're an angry little soldier. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, you are a very angry little soldier with your blue eyes. Samir X69, will Bruno go to Saudi? No, I think he's got more ambitions than to go to Saudi. I think he's got a lot more ambitions than that. 100 million quid. I'm sure United had snatched their hand off. Sub, yes. Why did you call your mum a spam caller? I didn't. I had another call. I had a call come in and then I had a call straight after from my mum. The one that came in before, it said potential spam. It's one of them that phone you up and say, you've won a competition, or do you wanna get crypto or whatever it is, you never know. Zero Requiem back on the Vert saga. I'd like to think he's desperate to leave Leverkusen because he wants to avoid his career ruined by Ten Hag. Thank you, Man United. Well, that would be funny, wouldn't it? That would be funny, but I don't think it is that. No, I think he's ready to leave because he wants to challenge for the top honours. He wants to be competing for the Premier Leagues, the Champions Leagues, and Liverpool is the place to do that. Liverpool have been in a Champions League final every other year over the last 7 or 8 years. And we've competed for Premier Leagues as often as anyone. We've won 2 out of the last 6. We've competed for maybe 3 or 4 out of the last 6. There's probably only 1 or 2 years you could argue we weren't in a serious title race. I would say only 1. We weren't in a serious title race when Arsenal and City were going at it. But even the year before, when we finished 3rd under Klopp, we was top for a really, really long time. A really long time. I think we were top for most of the season, actually, in that one. And we threw it away at the end. But, hey, whatever. He's coming to a big club where he can earn, good money and challenge for the biggest things. So, I think that's why he's coming. I'm not sure that he's the player I would have gone for, personally. Cameron Vickers, Vert, then Kirkes, hopefully. Zach, why are you flying in saying got Sheffield United to win for 2-1 when you were being very rude to me yesterday, Zach? Very, very rude to me yesterday. Why were you being so nasty yesterday? Substub Key checking out the Mandem. Zero Requiem. We weren't in the title race immediately after we won our first Premier League. Well, no, I know, but you know what I mean. Again, the point still stands. The point still stands. King Sloth, hopefully I'm saying bye to Garnacho and possibly Bruno on Sunday. It's time for change and no one's safe. I think the issue with United at the minute, King Sloth, is that United are going to have to make big decisions at the top end of the football club to cut their losses on a lot of players. If they tried to sell them now, if you think of each player as a stock or a share, they are at their lowest point right now. So it's a horrendous time to sell them. It's a horrendous time to sell him. Rasmus Højlund is probably never going to be as low as he is now in terms of value. If they'd have sold Anthony, think about it. If they'd have sold Anthony last summer, United would have got 20 million quid. They sell him this summer, they probably get 65 or 60. He's one of the best players in Spain, one of the best players in La Liga. So it shows the power of hanging on to players a little bit longer. Scott McTominay, they got 25 million quid for him. How much does Scott McTominay go for now at 28 years old, having just won Napoli, the Scudetto, and is the most valuable player, MVP in Serie A? Scott McTominay's done really well after leaving. Anthony's done really well after leaving. Wan-Bissaka's probably now worth the 50 million quid that Man United paid for him from Crystal Palace. Probably one of the best right-backs in the league this season for West Ham. Just won player of the season at West Ham. He's a top quality player. And I think United will be well advised to look at that and go, I think we're better off hang on to a few of these, I think we're better off just hanging on to a few of these. Rasmus Højlund is one I am sure they'll keep an eye on. They'll probably say, do you know what, we're probably better off loaning him out. They might cut the losses on Onana. Bruno Fernandes, I don't think they get 100 million for. I honestly, I think 60 million pounds. He's 31. Bruno Fernandes is 31 years old. And I don't think he goes to a Saudi. I think he goes to another European club. Maybe to a Barca or a I don't know, maybe to a Juve, maybe to a Real... It's certainly not to a Real Madrid, but a Barca or a Juve. Somewhere at PSG, maybe at a push. A team that can afford him, but I don't think anyone pays more than 60 million quid. Tops. Zero Requiem. Imagine Bruno Fernandes to Bayern as Vert's replacement. Now that could work. Yeah, that could work. Sub Bruno Fernandes is great, but United don't know how to work him. Well, he does get a lot of goals and assists, doesn't he? He's very, very talented, but I think at 31 years old, he's probably given as good as he can get now. He's not going to improve from here. Daniel, how important is it for a player to capture the imagination of fans? I think it's more important for a player to get the fans, to be able to read the room a little bit. Like, there's been so many times where players have come into a club and just immediately got off on the wrong foot with fans. Like, I mean, Anthony, for example, at Man United, he scored a goal. It wasn't his first goal, but he scored a goal, and I think United were 2-0 down at the time. Or it might have been 1-1. I think it was 1-1 or 1-0 in the game. And he scored to make it 1-1. And he ran over to the fans and celebrated. There was like 5 or 10 minutes left. He ran over to the fans and celebrated. And you could see all the United fans going, no, get the ball, get up the pitch, go on, we want to go and get the winner. You don't celebrate an equaliser at this club. That's not this club. You don't do that. So there's things like that. I just think get fans totally off on the wrong feet with certain players. So I think, reading the room makes a lot of sense. Khalid, predictions for the game. I think 2-1 Sheffield United. Probably in extra time. AM10, Liverpool next season could play in a 4-4-2, but the two up front are CAMs, just like it was at City away. Okay. Unknown FRX, we needed a creative midfielder. SCFC 2025, Cunha closing in on going to Man United. I honestly don't think Cunha's going to be the player that United need. He's not the game changer for them. He's a good player, but he's not the game changer. Cameron Vickers, United cashing in on Mainu and Garnacho. Apparently there's a big summer for them to come off outgoing. Right, okay. Mainu going to anyone, I think it's going to be Chelsea, isn't it? Kieran Baines, what was the head-to-head results between these two teams? Well, let's look at that, actually. Yeah, let's look at that. Why not? The head-to-heads for Sunderland and Sheffield United are as follows. In recent years, it has been Sunderland 2, Sheffield United 1, and Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0. So basically, it's 2-2 on aggregate. They've both won one. It's 2-2 on aggregate over the two games this season. Prior to that, Sheffield United have won 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the last 5 Sheffield United have won. Before those two, I mean. But yeah, it's pretty even, isn't it? It's pretty even. King Sloth, I get it, but I'll take a loss on some players to save the wages. I know, but this is the thing. This is what the board have to, like, that's ambition. Some people think ambition is going out and signing a load of players. Actually, ambition, I think, from a United point of view now, ambition is the manager going to the board and saying, these players aren't good enough. These players aren't good enough. We need to get rid of them. And the board going, fine, okay, we'll cut our losses. There's a player there who we signed for 60 million not that long ago. We know we can only get maybe 15, maybe 20 for him on the current market. We're just going to set fire to 30 million quid. We might as well just get it in a big pile and just set fire to it. That's what we're going to do. That's the ambition we're prepared to show to back you, Ruben Amorim. And if I'm dead honest, I don't think they're going to. They're not going to. Because Ruben Amorim hasn't shown enough with the squad players that he's got now. So if you were a guy, if you had the money, if you were Jim Ratcliffe or one of the Glazers or whatever, how likely would you be to back Ruben Amorim, knowing that he hasn't got a tune out of the players that he's been given? And these aren't terrible. This squad of players he's got aren't 17th. They're not 17th. They're not the 17th worst side in the league. Look at what David Moyes and Vitor Pereira got at Wolves and Everton. Look at what those two managers got, and look at what Ruben Amorim got. There's no way at all that... no way. Absolutely no way that that Ruben Amorim should be getting them 17th. Daniel, Man United offer you a blank cheque to take Onana. What's the lowest number you're writing? What's the lowest number you're writing? To take Onana? I don't know what you mean. For Liverpool, we wouldn't have him. £1. £1. Zero Requiem. Why Man United fans think selling their best players to raise funds will get them better players and improve the position. It is a vicious cycle. Well, the recruitment policy hasn't been all that good, has it? When they've recruited players, they've typically failed. The players haven't come in and improved them. So by selling your best, you're only gonna worsen the squad. Callum 1-0 Sheffield United, 82nd minute, and Sunderland with a quick fire double. Daniel, do you think Alisson starts for Liverpool next season? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think he will start, and I think Mamadashvili comes in as backup. Maybe the season after we see those two meaningfully competing, but for now, Alisson's the best keeper in the world. Daniel, I'm looking forward to see Amorim waste more of the club's money. I don't think he's going to get that money, if I'm dead honest with you. I think they might have to sell quite a few players. I was listening to Gary Neville's podcast the other day, and he was saying that it looks like United are going to get 100 million to spend, but they're going to have to sell some players in order to raise that money anyway. So I don't think there's going to be an awful lot for them to spend. They might be on a sell to buy at this point. Young Family 247, will you have it live to watch? I'll be watching it live, yeah, but I can't show it to you live. If I show it to you, the channel gets banned, I'm sorry. Watch it be 8-0 Sheffield United this game. Amrit, are you going to watch Madrid versus Sociedad? No, I'm not, because it clashes with this game. Jeremy, Duke of Belgium, surely we all want the Mackham to win today. Yeah, I'd hope so. King Sloth, Sky Sports reporting Ruben is to take charge of the rebuild in the summer with £100 million. But 100 million doesn't get you much. 70 million of that is already gone, allegedly, on Cunha. So where now? Where'd you go now? SCFC 2025, FIFA President Gianni Infantino confirmed Ronaldo is in loan talks with a Club World Cup team. Interesting. Luras, he's proving a point. Amorim did the same at Sporting. Same manager that dogged City. What do you mean he's proving a point? Rob Ruben Amorim always wins something in his second season, right? Kingsloth, the 100 million doesn't include the Cunha deal. How do you know it doesn't include the Cunha deal? Why wouldn't it include the Cunha deal? Of course it would include that. Why wouldn't it? That's 100 million quid. That's part of the summer transfer budget. That's madness to think that it wouldn't be included in that. MR27 verts to Liverpool. Here we go. It's a big deal, isn't it? It's a very big deal, that one. Zero Requiem. When Man United players don't play well, the managers get sacked. There is no accountability on the part of the players. So I believe it is not about the manager not getting the best out of the players. You don't think it's... So you don't think it's the manager? You don't think it's the manager at all? You think it's the players? I'm not sure I agree with that, mate. No, I think the manager absolutely is responsible for getting the best out of the players that he's got. And I don't think that he has a group of players there who are not trying. I think he has a limited bunch, don't get me wrong. I think there's a bunch of players there who are quite limited, and maybe you could argue they're not top quality. But they're not dreadful. They're not 17th placed. They aren't 17th placed players then. They're very good players. Some of them, anyway. Bruno Fernandes is a very good player. I think Mazraoui's a talented player. I think Agate's got quality. We've seen that Garnacho can do well. Amad Diallo can do well. Mason Mount, if he's fit, has been alright. Casemiro is one of the most experienced players around. Lenny Yoro's a talented young player. So no, I totally reject the argument that the players are awful. The players are 17th placed in the league. That's their level. And yeah, Ruben Amorim is totally void of criticism. It's nonsense for me. Ruben Amorim has come into a team that is far, far better than what David Moyes had at Everton. Far, far better than what Vitor Pereira had at Wolves. And he's walked in and made them worse. And I don't think there's any player that he's improved. I don't think there's any of the there's no redeeming characteristics about the team. They don't seem to be working harder, running faster. They don't seem to be organised. In fact, a lot of the players don't seem to know what they're doing or where they should be. The system clearly isn't communicated all that well to them, and they just don't look at a really cohesive unit. So if I'm dead honest, I do think Amorim has to take a lot of responsibility. I can understand why he didn't want to come in before the end of the season, but the fact that he did come in, he's made that decision. He probably should have been firm. Gary Neville talked about this as well. Gary Neville was saying, you know what, maybe I'm sure Ruben Amorim is looking back and thinking, oh, I wish I'd have just said no. I wish I'd have said no and stayed. But I'm sure United probably said to him, look, if it's now or never, you either come now or you don't come at all, and we go and get someone else. But I think that if Ruben Amorim had a bit more, balls about him, he's probably said to them, listen, I'm going to see it out to the end of the season at Sporting, and then I'll come at the end of the season if you still want me. If not, then you don't have me. And if he'd have had the balls to say that, I think that would have shown an awful lot more. But instead, he's coming halfway through the season, and it's fallen to bits. And he has to shoulder some of the blame for that. Rubes, if I was the owner of Man U, I would sell some of the bad eggs, Garnacho, Casemiro, Maguire, and then loan a few more out and loan some of the good young players that Ruben wants. Why do we think Casemiro and Maguire are bad eggs? I mean, Garnacho, we know he's there's a little bit of arrogance there. He's obviously upset that he hasn't got the game time, but why would we say those players are bad eggs? I think there's just egos in Premier League dressing rooms, and that's part and parcel of being a Premier League manager. You've got to manage the egos. There's players in there who've been told they are the best in the world all their lives, who have been coddled and mollycoddled all their life, and they don't like being told no. They don't like being told they're not good enough. They don't like being told they're not working hard enough. And you've got to manage that. That's part and parcel of being a top manager, surely. They're all millionaires as well, so it's not even like you can say, like you used to back in the day, well, look, if you do well, lad, there's fame, there's money, there's all these fast cars and women and everything that you want. They get that at 18 now. There's nothing you can offer them. So, to me, I just think Ruben Amorim has to shoulder some of the blame. Zero Requiem, I do think some United players are intentionally trying to get the manager fired. Why would they do that? It's not in their interest to do that. What, to just be in an endless cycle of managers who bring them in and then... Look, I don't believe that you move your family from one country to another and you sign with a big club like Man United and decide, do you know what, I'm going to absolutely firebomb this thing. I'm just going to absolutely throw everything under the bus and make sure the club fails. I'm going to sabotage the club from the inside out. I'm going to be miserable because I'm failing. My family's going to be miserable in this new country that we've moved to start a life here. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think so anyway. Daniel, how comparable do you think the Arsenal and Man United situations were when the legendary managers left their respective clubs? That's probably a fair question. I think Arsene Wenger left Arsenal in a much better state than Wenger did. Than Ferguson did. But equally, I don't think Ferguson left United in a terrible state. But the manager, ironically, the manager they should have give time to was David Moyes. I think if they'd have given Moyes more time, he would have probably got United turned round. He's a fantastic manager, David Moyes. And he can play in a lot of different styles as well. Rubes, Casemiro is too old to play his position. While some United fans would disagree. In fact, some United fans would argue he's been their best player in the second half of the season under Ruben Amorim. Zero Requiem, because they don't like the criticism. It's because they don't like the criticism, they're now intentionally trying to get the manager fired. I don't think so. And do you know what as well? There's that many stats that you can see in terms of sprints, heart rate, all that. Clubs can see when a player's going on the pitch and not putting the effort in. You can see when a player's not trying. You can see the intensity. I don't know if there's an element of... I don't think there's an element of truth to that. Personally, again, each to their own, mate, but I don't think so. Kingsloth, it's been reported as the £100 million is from player sales, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, etc. The players can only play a certain way, which is counter-attack and sit back. Basic tactics for basic players. These aren't basic players, mate. These are signed for big, big money. How can we say basic players when you've got Luke Shaw, who is one of the more experienced players around, Harry Maguire, that's 100 plus million pounds worth of player just there, played in finals for Man United for club and country. Agate, Casemiro. You've got some really experienced players in there. Martinez, De Ligt, Mazraoui. These are top players from top European clubs who've come in. Yes, you could look at Rasmus Højlund and say, oh, do you know what? It's not quite working out for him. He's a young. But do you know what? Other clubs would have wrapped an arm around him and got more out of him. Rasmus, you don't pay 75 million for a player who's as bad as Rasmus Højlund is showing out to be. Honestly, I am almost certain Rasmus Højlund does a Scott McTominay. I think he'll leave United, go back to Italy or go to somewhere else, and he'll start playing really well. And everyone will be like, why did United sell him? Why did they sell him? He's looking twice the player he was there. 10 times the player. Hamish, where would Joe Bellingham go if he had to leave? Allegedly Dortmund. Kingsloth, it's not all the players' fault. Ruben has that excuse of coming halfway through the season. That guy Jack562, what's the stream about today? It's Sheffield United against Sunderland. Tony Snooker fan, hi there. I'm hoping for a Sunderland win. Me too, mate. Me too. Daniel Mourinho should have been the manager to stay longer and backed properly. You could say the same with Van Gaal as well. I think they've had some good managers, haven't they, over the years? Van Gaal, Mourinho, even Ten Hag, to be honest. Ten Hag won 2 trophies back-to-back. He had him in 8th last year. This exact same side in 8th last year. You don't go 8th to 17th and the manager doesn't get any blame for that. I'm sorry. Tim Pot team couldn't even sell out the Wembley allocation. Who? Sheffield United? Really? Unknown, who have you got? I'm fancying Sunderland. I'm hoping for Sunderland. I fancy Sheffield United, though. Reece, do you have a bet on this game, Prem Dad? Yes, I have got a bet on this game. But I have got a bet on with our channel sponsor on YouTube. So if you have a look on YouTube, you'll see. Kingsloth, because they're used to playing for basic tactic managers for so long. I think you're letting them off the hook, mate. I think you're letting the players off the hook, and I think by letting the players off the hook, you're also letting Amorim off the hook. That guy Jack562, lad, my team coach made a game at 4 a.m. from 7 a.m, so I have to go to that. Enjoy. Tony Snooker fan, I genuinely think Sunderland will win. Well, I'm hoping so. I am hoping so. Let's have a look at the lineups very quickly as we approach the final few minutes before kickoff. They are just doing a big announcement on the screen there. They're doing the Tom Lockyer What Every Minute Counts initiative. The game is kicking off at 1 minute past. Is it Vinnie Jones reading out a dramatic monologue there? Yeah, as a montage is played of the two teams reaching the final. Vinnie Jones. Right, here we go. So the lineups are as follows. It is Cooper in goal for Sheffield United. I'll just brighten the old screen up there. Cooper in goal. It's Hamza Chowdhury at right back. It's Amadojic and Robinson in the middle. Harrison Burrows at left back. Into midfield, it's Brewster, Peck, Vinny Souza and Hamer. And then up front, it's Kiefer Moore and Campbell. 4-4-2, the old 4-4-2 for Sheffield United. For Sunderland, a big loss for Sunderland. Not to have Isidore. Isidore not playing. Is he on the bench? He is on the bench. I'm surprised at that. It's Patterson in goal for Sunderland. It's Shirkin, Owen 9, Ballard and Hume at the back. And then it's Lefay, Bellingham, Dan Neil and Chris Rigg in the middle. And then up front, it is that man, Eliezer Mayenda, who I thought was terrific in the playoff semi-final. And Romain Mundle as well. Romain Mundle's had a funny season for Sunderland. He's been okay, but I think Mayenda is definitely one to watch today. Young centre forwards. 20 years old and 22 years old. They do have Isidore to bring off the bench, of course, he has been the star of Sunderland's season, really, in that centre-forward role. So, interesting to see how he gets on. Patrick Roberts as well could come off the bench. Mepham, if they need some help at the back, as well as Shelder. Alan Brown. And Abdul Samed as well. Salis Abdul Samed is on there. For Sheffield United, they've got Alfie Brooks, Brereton Diaz, Tom Cannon, Tom Davis, Rob Holden, Sam McCallum, and Callum O'Hare, as well as Sariki. No Ollie Arblaster, no Norrington Davis, no Abdullahi, no Dans, no Huggins, no Pervader. Jayden Dans on loan from Liverpool. Burley kicked a ball for Sunderland. In fact, I don't think he has played any minutes for Sunderland. Daniel, I'm guessing it's Sheffield from reports, but it's hard to see as both teams play in red and white. Well, no, it's Sunderland are in their white strips today. So we are off now. We're off and underway. Let's see how these two get on in the playoff final. Tony Snooker fan with the kit clash in the crowd. It's hard to see who's who. Both red. Yeah. Be a Viking. Chowdhury, long-time Newcastle target to get the winner. Honestly, I hate Hamza Chowdhury. Absolutely hate him. He's a proper, shitbag player. He seems to... Every time I watch a game with Hamza Chowdhury, he goes through someone. He leaves studs on him every time. He's like a Joey Barton. Just goes through him, leaves studs on him. Lee Catamol was another one like that. Daniel, should number 66 be retired at Liverpool? Don't think we'll ever have another number 66, to be honest. Bellingham is fully living off his brother's name. Well, you probably would, wouldn't you, to be fair? Hotspur Army. Unknown. I put a bet on Job to score. Okay. Well, Sunderland are pressing quite well in the early stages here. Sorry, I say Sunderland. Christ, it was Sheffield United. It wasn't Sunderland at all. Kiefer Moore has just had a very, very good chance and a great save from Patterson. I don't know why I thought that was Sunderland. Obviously, because it was red and white. I'm still getting used to the idea that they're playing in white and blue, Sunderland. But yeah, Sheffield United, Kiefer Moore with a header, Burley 60 seconds in, and a wonderful save from Patterson. Fabulous save, that. Big Kiefer Moore, bang. Daniel, do you dislike Hamza because he's a billionaire? No, not at all. Just like I said, because he leaves studs on players. If he is a billionaire, then, that's all the more reason to hate him. Don't think anyone should be a billionaire in modern society. I think if you've got a conscience, you're not a billionaire. But yeah, no, the reason I don't like Hamza Chowdhury is because he leaves studs on players. Hotspur Army 1882. Imagine how Joe Bellingham is feeling playing where his brother represents his country. Well, I'm sure if he keeps on playing as he is, he'll get there himself as well. SCFC 2025. Apparently Swansea are interested in signing Luka Modric. Well, he's invested in Swansea, hasn't he? So that makes sense. Shane, sell or keep Bruno Fernandes. I think you should keep him. But I expect that you'll sell him. Yeah. Hotspur Army 8082. My name's Callum. I'm on the bench. Def Punk. If Liverpool get Verts, Frimpong and Kirkes, does this make them favourites next season? I think we're favourites next season even without those three. But yeah, I think we're definitely favourites now. Bryn, come on Sunderland. Hiya Bryn, how's it going? Good to see you, mate. Caleb, Cunha, Cherky and Delap. That is a mint front three. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sure they're all dying to go United as well. Nick A13 prediction, Getafe and Celta Vigo. We did this yesterday, didn't we, mate? 2-1 Celta Vigo, I think. Brandon, hope Sunderland win. Fed up of Sheffield United in the Prem. Yeah, me too. Me too. That was a really, really good save, that, from Patterson. A very, very good save. And annoyingly now, Sunderland have got a player down. It looks like, is it Luca 9? I think he might have had to have his arm popped back in its socket here. This isn't bad. Oh, sorry, this isn't good, rather. Timer stopped. Sorry. Cheers, Daniel. Yeah, we've got a player down here. Matt Hinsey, are you going to the parade on Monday? No, mate. No, not really my idea of a good time, that one. Reece, what a save. It was a great save. That wasn't it, Henry. That save is ridiculous. Top save from Patterson. Caleb Delap will come, I'm telling you. It's out with United, Everton and Chelsea. Which one is he going to choose? I mean, honestly, I think I'd be better off going to Everton at this stage. Everton are probably going to be a far better team for him to go to than Man United. Dylan Pample, not having the Ange glaze, to be honest. He's done alright to win the Europa League, but he hasn't. Listen, I was going to say, he's done very well, I think. He's been fighting against the tide a little bit, Spurs, having so many injuries. Creme de la FM, I don't want Delap. Who do you support, mate? Oh, you're Chelsea fan. Who do you want? I'm guessing you want Osimhen. Beer Viking, do you remember Hamza Chowdhury? Oh, come on, Beer Viking, don't be saying things like that. Jack Spurs, we did it. Spurs did it. Come on, you Spurs. Daniel, take him off. Can teams put the player's health first for once, please? Well, they are doing, yeah. It looks like they're taking him off. Barely 5 minutes into the playoff final here. And Sunderland are going to have to make a big change. This is not one they would have hoped to make. Creme de la FM, yep. Osimhen, we need quality, not youth up front. FunkyPigeon.com 06. Who's coming on? Top snooker fan, what's happened with that clash? As Kiefer Moore went up for a header, I think he got his arm caught, and it looked like his arm jarred a little bit. Yeah, so Luke and Iron is going to go off, and I'm not sure who it is who's coming on. Maybe Helder. Is it Helder? Or Mepham? Actually looks like Mepham. I think it's Mepham. Yeah, I think it's going to be Mepham who comes on. Sheffield United with the ball in. Comes out to the edge of the area. Good shot. Cleared away by Sunderland. Sunderland living dangerously already here in the opening 7-8 minutes. Yeah, Tony Snooker fan, what's happened with that clash? I thought I was going to say, I hope you've just heard what I said. But basically, Kiefer Moore went up with a header. Luke and Iron got his arm kind of stuck. And it jarred, and it looked like it came out of its socket. And as a result now, Luke and Iron is coming off the pitch. Oh, Sheffield United, very good chance of being in there. Gustavo Hamer got his touch all wrong. Jack Spurs, I want Angel Gomez from Lille. I think that'd be a good signing, yeah. I think Jonathan David would be one to watch from Lille as well to Spurs. Michael, good to see you, Michael. Afternoon, Kieran. I'm watching both the playoff final and the Scottish Cup final, Celtic v Aberdeen, then the Women's Champions League final, then the German and French Cup final. A feast of football today. Loving it. Good to see you, mate. Well, yeah, listen, I mean, we'll be live for the German Cup final later. Depending on what happens in this one, we might be able to catch the Women's Champions League final as well, but I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. Daniel, amateur physio, trying to karate chop it back in place. Listen, players don't want to come off. They don't want to come off. His arm is still out of place. Very sad to see in a final like this. Kean, Modric to the Swans. It's looking like it. Yeah, Luka Modric to Swansea. That's going to be a very, very big move if they do manage to pull it off. Obviously, Luka Modric investing in Swansea. So, yeah, that's going to be a really, really big move if they can manage to do it. If they can manage to pull it off. Jack Spurs, I would have Jonathan David, but I love Richie too much, even when he's injured all the time. And Solanke shit. Creme de la FM. Delap couldn't even score on loan at Stoke. Delap's a good player, mate. He's still young. I think he'd be better than Nicholas Jackson. Unknown, if Sunderland get promotion, do you think Job will stay? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do think he'll stay if Sunderland get promotion. SCFC 2025, yeah, Mepham was the replacement. Yeah, Mepham on for Luke and I. Luke and I still making his way around the edge of the pitch. He's in a lot of pain. You can see he's in a lot of pain there. First time we've actually seen Sunderland get any sort of real foot on the ball. You know, it's Sheffield United have had all of the possession and the big chances in the game in the opening 10 minutes. Daniel, you're one of a rare few who know how to pronounce Hamer correctly. I've got to say, that is one thing that does frustrate me a lot with football. And not that I would consider myself in any way, shape or form a football pundit. But do you know when you see a commentator, like a professional commentator for like TNT Sport or Sky Sports, whatever, and they get a player's name wrong? It does really annoy me a little bit. It's like a proper ick. And I'm not talking about like Bruno Fernandes. Right. Everyone's had that question. It looks like Fernandes, doesn't it? It looks like Fernandes. Everyone generally calls him Fernandes. But allegedly, and he will tell you this himself, Bruno Fernandes will call himself Bruno Fernandes. That's how he pronounces it. But I've no problem with that. It's when you see like Michael Owen or, you know, there's loads of commentators that do it. I'm trying to think of an example. But yeah, it does irritate when you see him get a name. So Paul Merson is an absolute nightmare for it. Absolute nightmare for it. Jack Spurs, I fell in love with Romero. What do you think of Frimpong to Liverpool? If Romero stays fit, he's one of the best at Spurs. Yeah, he's one of the best in the league. I really like him. What do you think of Frimpong to Liverpool? Again, he's not the right back that I would have gone for. I think he's a very good right back. The same with Kirkes, very good left back. Same with Wirtz, very good player. But unless Arne Slot has an actual plan for how to use him, I'm a little bit confused. I'm sure he does. Christ, I mean, he's one of the best managers around. So I'm not at all. I'm not at all worried about how we use them or whatever. But I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm curious because I don't know how they're all going to fit in and keep us balanced and not so subject to the long diagonals to quite small physical players in terms of Kirkes and Frimpong. So yeah, he's going to have a plan, and I'm assuming it involves bringing in more of a low-lying destroyer, a 6, a Kante, a Lavia, someone of that ilk. Jack Spurs, you should take a doggy. I don't rate him. I like a doggy. Yeah, I like a doggy. Daniel, my local radio, gets all the... But look, again, from a distance, on a funny camera angle, the eyes play tricks. As you get older, a lot of commentators in the 60s sometimes, you never know. You can afford innocent mistakes like that. But I think if it's your job and you've got 22 players in front of you, you should probably know how the name's pronounced and you should know a little bit about them. Rather than just rocking up 30 seconds before and going, fine, let's see who've we got here. You know, it's that sort of thing. Fabian, Sunderland looking nervous on the ball. Yeah, Sunderland haven't really got into this, have they? They haven't really got into it. Creme de la FM, nothing you read is in this chat. It is in this chat, mate. I do read it, but I've got YouTube over here and I've got TikTok over here and I've got to bounce between the two. I do read your chat, but you've got to give me a minute or so. Like, it's not going to be... I don't read it within seconds, and by the time I get to it, it's usually bobbed up quite a bit. We've got like 100 people plus in here at the minute. We had 2,000 in the other night. It flies up. It's very quick. So I will get to it. I promise you. I will get to it. I will read them. It just sometimes takes a few seconds. James McGreevy, remember a phase where commentators were pronouncing James Milner as James. James Milner. That's funny. Savio Rodriguez, as Real Madrid fan, we are dreadful. Yeah, not dreadful. Real Madrid are a good side. Still a good side. Be interesting to see what Xabi Alonso does with them. What is that Sunderland player doing there? Oh my God, why did he try and dive in header clear that then? he was literally doing a push-up on the floor. All he needed to do was boot that away. Creme de la FM, Napoli are champions last night. Yeah, we watched it, mate. Yeah, we watched it. Reese, what's the more boring sport? Cricket or golf? Cricket or golf? Golf. Golf. I don't like either. Cricket, golf and Formula 1. No time for them. Timmy, he asked what you are reading. I know, he asked what I was reading, but he also said that nothing I read is in this chat, which isn't true. And the amount of times you get people kicking off because you've not read the comment within like 5 seconds. Drift. Like, there's loads going on. There's a game to watch. There's loads going on. I have one pair of eyes. Libs, up the Mackhams, Jeremy Duke of Belgium, has there been any news on the Sunderland injury? None as yet. I mean, he's just walked around the pitch. He's off the pitch now. I'm sure he's getting his arm popped in with some gas and air. But I think his arm came out its socket, it looked like. And he was in a lot of pain, Luca 9. Hotspur Army 1882. What was Bellingham doing on the floor? Was that Bellingham? Bellingham started dancing on the floor. Kieran Baines, can you maybe see this game going to pens? Yeah, as it stands. I mean, all of the actions in the middle of the pitch. Sunderland have had the best chances. Sheffield United still not really getting any meaningful possession. So yeah, as I predicted before the game, I want Sunderland to win, but it's looking like Sheffield United will. And up to this point, I've not seen anything to make me change my prediction. Kieran Baines, Sunderland are not on it yet. They are still in the changing rooms. Jack Spurs, is TikTok more popular than YouTube? No, it's not. No, YouTube is more popular. I've got double the followers, double the subscribers on YouTube. And yeah, YouTube's probably the more busier, but TikTok does get quite a few in it. So I don't know. It tends to change on different games. Daniel, Championship player finals are usually drab affairs. There's been some good ones over the years. I mean, again, I looked at the one before. Was it Sunderland and Charlton? It finished, was it 4-4? Back in the 90s, that one, though. Michael, if Sunderland can withstand the Sheffield United onslaught and work their way into this match, they could nick a win. Sheffield United are throwing everything at them, and they could well tire out. Well, first real chance for Sunderland here. It's going to be a corner. Big Dan Ballard and Mepham are in there. Ball in. Good save there from Cooper, and that's easy done. Daniel, what's the word for banter in your local area? It's banter. Banter. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Don't think there's anything else. Having a dig. Banter. I know down south they'll say digging them out. What are you digging me out for? Daniel, any bit of quality in this match will only come from Hamer. I think there's still quality there from Sunderland, but Bellingham, he's not really had any sort of meaningful... He's not been able to exert himself on the game at all so far. And neither of Sunderland. Kieran Baines, I bet it's somewhat painful watching your sub go up slowly to 5k. Not at all, mate. No, not at all. Like I say, I'm hoping we can get to 5k sooner rather than later, but yeah, I'm not overly worried. I'm sure we will in time. It's gone up very, very quickly. I didn't think I'd be on 5k subs having only started the channel in January, so I've done all right. I'm happy enough with where we are right now, and I'm sure we'll keep going in the right direction. The views are going up anyway. The views are definitely going up. Oh, hang on a minute. Camera's gone now. Camera's gone. Right, one sec. I'm back. Right. Right, we had a slight issue with the camera overheating, but we're back. We're back. It'll all be good, don't worry. We're all sorted. Unknown, he isn't lying, he is actually live every day. Cheers, man. No kidding. Tobias LUFC 1919, at least I can just watch this championship playoff and not be nervous for 90 minutes. Absolutely. Robert Anderson, Roma away next season. Who's that for? For the Palace. Listen, Roma away, be very careful if you do get Roma away. I wouldn't wish Roma away on my worst enemy. Don't go to Roma away if you're a Palace fan. I mean, I'm sure you'll enjoy all your European aways, but yeah, Roma away is the least enjoyable away trip I've ever done. Daniel Bellingham stole Championship Player of the Season. Did he get Championship Player of the Season? I didn't know. Great season though, Robert, for Palace, wasn't it? Fabulous season. Really, really pleased for you guys. Hotspur Army 1882. How much for that football behind you? You can at that one, you can have, because it's just a regular old football. I've got another football which is actually a proper signed. It was used in a match many years ago, a Liverpool game. Barry Ryan, why is Roma bad? I didn't enjoy the Rome. I didn't enjoy the city. I thought the stadium was not great. Yeah, the stadium wasn't great. You're miles away from the pitch. The fans were appalling. Like, just wanted to scrap. And even I'm talking even just if you were just in the city, just enjoying yourself. We went a couple of days before Liverpool played Roma in the Champions League semi-final. And we weren't doing anything. We were just enjoying the city centre. Most of Rome. There's some beautiful parts of Rome. Beautiful parts, like if you go near the Spanish Steps, Colosseum. There's some really, really nice places like old Rome, but then. Yeah, like anywhere near Fiumicino, it's horrible. And there's fans actively looking. If they know you're a football fan, there's fans actively looking to hurt you. Daniel, what Championship away day do you think I should do next season? Ooh, Championship away day. I'd like to tick off the 92. I've always said I'd like to go and do my ideal, like the channel that I wish I'd have started. Is the padded seat. I would have loved that. If you've never seen the padded seat, go and check it out. Top channel. I would have loved to do that. That would have been my ideal football channel. What a run. This is from Sunderland getting to the box, and it's a corner from Mayenda. Really well done there. Sunderland first drive forward. Daniel, you didn't enjoy the city because you didn't go to the McDonald's with the marble statues. We might have done, I don't know if we did go to a Mackey's in Rome. Don't think we did. Barry Ryan, did you fight them? No, I didn't fight them. No, but when I'm talking, you have to watch your back. Every time you hear a scooter behind you, you kind of move inwards on the pavement because they've got this thing called punchicata, which is like it's kind of like a screwdriver, I guess. That they drive along the back on the scooters and then along the back of your leg. It's horrible. Gotta be careful. Michael Kieran, wasn't there trouble a few years back when Roma played Liverpool at Anfield? Yeah, well that was the problem. That was the problem. There was it was Roma versus Liverpool. The first leg was at Anfield, and a Liverpool fan, Sean Cox, he again, absolutely nothing caused it. Sunderland are in here. This is 1-0, and it is. And what a goal that is! It's not Sunderland, it's Sheffield United. Sheffield United have scored an absolutely unbelievable goal. What an unbelievable counter-attacking goal. It was a corner to Sunderland at one end of the pitch. The ball gets whipped in. It gets cleared away. And I think it's Gustavo Hamer who picks it up on the left-hand side. He's sprinting down the left. He knocks it into the middle. And running through the middle is Tyrese Campbell. He's one-on-one with Patterson. And he just dinks it over him. Little dink over the keeper. Wonderful goal from one end of the pitch to the other in literally 15 seconds. 15 seconds from a Sunderland corner being taken straight up the other end of the pitch. Is it Hamer? I think it is Hamer. And it's a wonderful pass into Tyrese Campbell and a great finish. And it's 1-0 Sheffield United. Great goal, that one. A great game. An absolutely great goal. Yes, sorry. So, yeah, coming back to it, Barry, is that when a Liverpool fan was hit with a belt? It wasn't a belt. It was a bike lock. It was a chain, like a metal bike lock chain, apparently. And he nothing. There was videos of it. There's videos of it on social media that he got caught, and it's absolutely outrageous. It was violent and horrible, and yeah, the poor fella. He's still recovering to this day. He's it's a horrible thing that happened to him, and he didn't deserve it. He did nothing wrong. He was just a Liverpool fan going watching the game at Anfield, and he got ambushed from behind by a cowardly Roma fan. And then obviously the week after, I'd already booked my flights and my tickets. The week after, Liverpool are playing Roma in Rome, away from home. So obviously that just set the whole thing up, didn't it? There's Liverpool fans desperate for revenge, I'm sure, not happy with the way that what happened with Sean Cox. I'm not saying all Liverpool fans went over that way, by the way, but I'm sure there was some who were looking for that. And I'm sure there was some Rome fans who were looking for a scuffle as well. And you couldn't separate the two from each other sometimes. So there's probably some innocent Roma fans who got dragged into it. There's probably some innocent Liverpool fans who got dragged into it. And yeah, you were just looking over your shoulder all the time in Rome. It was a horrible place to be. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've kind of tainted Rome, the city, as a result because of the fact that happened the week before. And I went to the away leg after that happened the week before, so it was like you were walking into the Lions' den. You were walking into it expecting there to be problems, and there was, Kieran Baines, did you hear what Klopp said about the Trent video? Yes, I did, mate, and we've talked about it already a few times. But yeah, I don't think Jurgen Klopp speaks for Liverpool fans. Put it that way. CBS are doing Bellingham cam. Oh, okay. What, they're just following Joe Bellingham around? Barry Ryan, what happened to the Roma fan? He got jail. Yeah, he got jail. He got sent to prison for some time. Again, if you Google it, you'll find all this. You'll see it all. Daniel, I told you the quality will come from Hamer. It was great, wasn't it? Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic from Hamer. But you've got to say the finish from Campbell was brilliant as well. Reece McTominay has turned into prime Makelele since going to Napoli. Tobias Al-Yossi, Hamer got Championship Player of the Year and Player of the Season. Wow, okay. FM No Casual, Sunderland are dreadful. Brandon, the limbs, to be fair. Henry, beautiful goal. Jeremy, all six of them waving the scarves. Game's so gone. Bryn says, come on, Mackhams. FM No Casual says they don't deserve to go up anyway. They play terrible football. Like I said, I do think Sheffield United are always the one most likely to win this one. They were always the most likely. And Sunderland have got a real task on their hands now to turn this round. SCFC, Will Still as the new Southampton manager. Yeah, we was talking about that earlier. Yeah, really good manager, I think that. Really good appointment. for Southampton. You know, he was on... I think he came on to Monday Night Football to raise his profile amongst English clubs a little bit, didn't he? Because he always said he was going to go back to the Premier League. Daniel, that is a true experience. That's your experience. It's bad. All cities have good and bad parts. If a population is large enough, there'll always be numpties. Totally agree. Yeah, listen, mate. There's good. I've been around the world enough to know that there's good and bad people everywhere, and you know, it doesn't matter where you go, what country, what culture, doesn't matter. There's good and bad people everywhere. I personally think there's more good than bad in the world. My missus is a little bit more cynical. She thinks that everyone's kind of out together, and there's, you know, there's a very, very small minority of really good people, whereas I'm totally the opposite. I see the glass. She's glass half empty. I'm glass half full. Maybe that's why we balance each other out. But yeah, I think the average man in the street's a good person, whoever they might be. But sadly, yeah, the Rome trip wasn't a particularly nice one. Barry Ryan, did you enjoy Big Ange winning? I did. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it, mate. Really enjoyed watching Spurs beat United and putting United in the shit, so to speak. DC 180, I'm the baddest man on the planet. Okay. Okay, whatever you say. Certainly got the baddest tattoo on the planet, mate. Second baddest. Daniel, do you know why Luton suffered a double relegation? I don't know why. I guess we could have a guess why. My guess is they didn't score enough goals. That seemed to be Luton's problem this season. They didn't really score enough. I mean, they conceded an awful lot as well. DC 180, that cut deep. Hey, listen. It's all love, mate. I'm only winding you up. All welcome. If you're the baddest man on the planet, that's great. Happy to have you. Barry Ryan, will Tyson Fury stay retired or come back? I couldn't care less. Honestly, I couldn't care. I don't really follow boxing or Tyson Fury. He's not a boxer I enjoy watching, Tyson Fury. Yeah, I don't enjoy watching him. FM No Casuals, they didn't spend because the owners want a new stadium. SCFC 2025, at least Will still has his UEFA Pro licence now, so doesn't get fined every game. Oh yeah, I remember that. TikTok FN Bro, as a Palace fan, I'm hoping Sunderland win. We all want to see the Newcastle-Sunderland rivalry back in the Premier League. Yes. DC 180, think Jones is ducking Aspinall? Don't know enough about boxing, mate, to tell you. I couldn't tell you. Daniel, does St Helens have a nice community? Is there much migration there? Yeah, I think St Helens has a nice community. Yeah. Yeah, again, like anywhere else, there's good and bad everywhere. Barry Ryan, Joshua fight would be big in the UK. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Joshua against Tyson Fury. I can't see that happening, though. That Campbell goal was a great finish. It really was a great finish. Fabulous finish. Gustavo Hamer slotted it in, one-on-one, and a lovely little loft over the keeper. But Sunderland parted like the Red Sea. Sunderland have got to defend better there. Got to defend better. Ian Greener, good job, English Ian, in Austin, Texas. You're in Austin, Ian? Wow, nice. Good to see you, Ian. Austin, Texas. I've got a friend in Austin, Texas. Kieran Baines, I think Delap will go to Everton because I've just seen a video of him signing the Everton wall. Not sure if that's true, why he would go there. Yeah, mate, there's a house. It's 2. It's 2. Sheffield United have scored again. Is it Harrison Burrows? I think it is. Sheffield United have scored again, and I think that might be the Championship final all but wrapped up 2-0. It was a corner from the left-hand side. It's headed out by Sunderland. It comes out to the edge of the area, and I think it's Harrison Burrows on the volley. Is it Harrison Burrows? I think it is. Let's have a look. Who is it? It is Harrison Burrows. There might be a claim for offside. Nah, you can't give offside for that. Ball comes out to the edge of the box, and it's a volley from the edge of the area, and it just goes straight in. I think the keeper's got to do better. He is unsighted by 2 Sunderland players right in front of him, but it's a volley from the edge of the area, and I think there might be a check for offside. Maybe there might be a check for offside here. Sunderland might get a reprieve. There is a VAR check. That a goalkeeper was unsighted by 2 Sheffield United players stood straight in front of him. I think they might get away with this, I think they might get away with this. I think this could be offside. Daniel knows so little about boxing. Yeah, it is. The ref's going to go and check it. The ref is going to go and check it. He's going to go and have a look here. It's obvious that the VAR have said he is offside. The players are offside, but you need to decide. Chris Kavanagh, whether or not this is actually constituting offside, because I'll be honest, it is a shot from the edge of the area. There's 2 Sheffield United players immediately in front of Patterson. They don't directly touch the ball, but you could certainly argue that they're blocking his view and they're blocking his ability to get to it. So I think they're going to get a reprieve here. I think this is going to be Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0. I think it's going to get ruled out. Let me know what you're thinking. James McGreevy, on the lap, he signed our player wall after we played them last month and he had talks with us. Here we go, he's going to come out and there you go. It's going to be no goal. It's offside. Right, so we're gonna drop that down to 1-0. We need an animation for goal ruled out, don't we? But Harrison Burrows' goal has been chalked off. It's back down to Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0, and the game is now back on because Sunderland very, very nearly got done there. I think that would have been the game over, to be honest. Daniel knows so little about boxing, gets asked about M&A and passes it off as boxing. Goes down in Premier League dad funnies along with Barcelona ex-Cactus Jack. Well, there you go. Listen, I don't profess to know these things. If I don't know them, I'll tell you I don't know them. Michael, why wasn't VAR used in the Championship playoff semi-finals, but only used in the final? They were only used in the final because that was what was agreed from the start. The VAR is to be used in the League 1 and League 2 playoff finals here at Wembley, but they aren't going to be used in the games at Wimbledon, at Notts County, Walsall, Charlton, Sheffield United, Bristol City, all that. It was never going to be used in the semis and only in the finals. That's what was agreed. So they've stuck with that. Reece Crownshaw, get a VAR decision animation. That would be quality. Yeah, I might have to look for that. There's got to be a way we can do that. Tony Snooker fan, I like now you hear from the referee after the VAR. I think they need that for the Premier League where you hear from the refs. That's the first to hear the ref speak. Daniel says soft decision by the ref, keeper could have saved that. I do think that one's, you've got to give that, Daniel. Yeah, I do think that's the right decision. You can't have players standing in front of a keeper in a clearly offside position and potentially blocking his view. Because this is the thing, that all the referee has to look at there is, one, are they offside? Yes. Two, if they are offside, is there an argument that they could be blocking the view. Because if they could be blocking it, then you have to rule it out. You have to be ruling it out. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, keeps the game interesting, as you say. I think they should have the mics refed up the whole game, to be honest, Tony. I know what you're saying there, Tony and Kieran saying about the ref speaking over the speakers in the stadium. I get that. But I honestly think, forget the fans in the stadium for a moment. They get the match day experience, they get the monitors and all that sort of thing. I really seriously think they should have the refs mic'd up like they do in rugby. The refs should be mic'd up. And the audience should be able to hear them. Game's gone. Right, Sunderland pushing forward here. Oh, Mundell's got it all wrong. It's gone behind. It's not been a good first half, this, for Sunderland. It's not been a good first half at all. Very, very poor. Lefay has been pretty restricted. Isidore on the bench there looking a frustrated figure as well. Bellingham currently rated the best player for Sunderland at 7. He's rated 7 out of 10. In fact, Bellingham is, according to Flash Scores, the 3rd best player on the entire pitch behind Hamer and Tyrese Campbell. What you make of that? I don't know. But it's Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0, 40th minute. Chris Wilder looks like the type of guy who loves a Stella at a barbecue. He looks like the sort of guy who would rock up to a barbecue and not bring anything. That kind of guy. That's the kind of guy I think Chris Wilder is. Rocks up to a barbecue and doesn't bring anything. Like, not even plastic cups. Oh, what a ball in that is. Yeah, not plastic cups. Not cofters. You know, not even some cursory, bags of crisp or something like that. Awful. Just awful. You are not good people if you go to a barbecue and you bring nothing. Rocks up to a barbecue and brings toilet roll for no reason. Lucas, what game are you watching? We're watching Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0 in the Championship playoff final. Michael, Celtic 1-0 up against Aberdeen. Really? Okay. We expected that though, didn't we? Definitely expected Celtic to be ahead there. Daniel, not been a good half for Sunderland fans. Not been a good half for neutrals watching, looking to be entertained. Well, listen, at least I've provided the entertainment to a degree. Confusing boxing with MMA and all that good stuff. Absolute box office on Premier League Dad, as per usual. Daniel, Chris Wilder looks like he hangs out with Ronnie Pickering. He does, doesn't he? Yeah. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Chris Wilder. Chris Wilder! Do you want to go? Ronnie Pickering, bloody hell. Oh, no. It's a really good play by Sheffield United. They're knocking it around so well, and to be honest, Sunderland aren't getting near him. They're not getting anywhere near him. Reese, I'm telling you, Sunderland will get a penalty to equalise. I'll tell you what, Luca 9 is inconsolable there on the bench. He's you can see he's got tears in his eyes, or he's had tears in his eyes. Whether that's from the pain or the disappointment of going off in arguably the biggest game of his career. Disappointing. I realised as well the other day, by the way, I was doing the schedule. Oh, here's Mundle. Sorry, it's Mundle driving forward. Really good play. Crowded out. Good defending by Sheffield United. Really good play. Better from Sunderland. Coming into the final few minutes of the half, though, they might not get a chance to make the difference before half time. Yeah, sorry. So I was doing the schedule for over the next few days, and obviously there's some days where there's literally no football on, and the only football, competitive football, that is on is Jamaica against Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Cup. And there's another day where it's Al Ittihad against Al Qadsiya in the Saudi Arabia Kings Cup final. And there's going to be some good players in that. Obviously, there's going to be your Benzemas, your Abu Diaby, Fabinho, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Some good players. Some good players. So we're going to be watching to see how those get on. But I just realised I'm not going to be able to promote the channel sponsor on that one. Am I? Or at least it'd be very disrespectful to do so. So I'm not going to. It's going to be the one video that I'm not going to promote the channel sponsor on. Because it wouldn't be the right thing to do. And I don't want to suffer the wrath of any watchers of the King's Cup. So I'm going to stay away from promoting the sponsor. Geordie Rob, was the goal offside? No, it wasn't offside, mate. It was a great goal. Great counter-attack. Fabulous finish from Tyrese Campbell. Even better ball from Gustavo Hamer. It was about 15 seconds from one end of the pitch. Oh, you're on about the second goal. Sorry. The second goal. Yes. The second goal, I think, was offside. Geordie Rob. Yes. Yeah, it was a shot. It was offside. It was just a question of whether or not the referee deemed the players to be interfering with the goalkeeper, because it was a shot from distance, and there was two Sheffield United players stood in front of Patterson, the Sunderland goalkeeper. So there was an argument there over whether or not they'd actually interfered. They didn't touch the ball, but Chris Kavanagh, the referee, determined that yes, they had stood in front of the keeper, therefore they had maybe interfered with play. The one and only, who do you think wins, Sheffield or Sunderland, mate? I think Sheffield United, yeah. I do think Sheffield United get it done. Kieran Baines, just off topic, are you an Adam Sandler fan or any movies he's been in? Yeah, massive Adam Sandler fan, mate. Love Adam Sandler. Cry me eyes out every time I watch Click. Love Click. Just Go With It. Great film. Big Daddy. 50 First Dates. Anger Management is fantastic. Yeah. Happy Gilmore, of course. The Waterboy. Billy Madison. Loads. Yeah, I mean, yes, of course, yeah. I am a massive Adam Sandler fan. I've just realised then, just by saying, like, I'm definitely an Adam Sandler fan. Daniel Amram has told Garnacho to leave. That's unsurprising. Yeah, that is unsurprising. Right, there's been 8 minutes of added on time here, by the way. I forgot to tell you. There's 8 minutes of added on time. We're currently 2.5 minutes in to those 8 minutes. So, yeah, another 5 minutes or so to go till half time. And Sheffield United currently 1-0 up. They've had a goal disallowed. Sunderland, they've not really started the game well, if I'm dead honest. They've not had any chances to hurt Sheffield United. It's been a pretty poor performance from the Mackhams. Geordie Rob, why did Luca 9 need to come off? He came off, mate, because there was a ball that got whipped in. It was literally 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds into the game. Ball got whipped in, big Kiefer Moore, bang, great header down, good save from Patterson. But Luca 9 went up for the header with him, and somehow he got his arm or his elbow caught, it felt, in between Kiefer Moore jumping. And somehow it looks like, I don't know, we've not heard anything, but it certainly looks like he's had his elbow pulled out of the socket, his arm pulled out of the socket, because he was walking off, he was on gas and air, he was clearly distressed. He was definitely still in pain, and he went straight down the changing room where I'm assuming they've popped it back in the socket for him, which is a very painful procedure. And now he's back outside and he's recovering on the bench, but obviously disappointed at the fact that he's had to go off in such a big game. Jake Curtin 532. They get cheesy chips for £1. Sunderland's a massive club. They get the hot dog sausage in a burger bun. I do like them songs, to be fair. To be honest, I don't really know any of the other ones. The only ones I know are you get cheesy chips for £1 and they get the hot dog sausage in a burger bun. That's the only two I know. And it goes, yeah, Sunderland, a massive club. That's the only song, the only bit of the song that I know. But I'm sure it's got like 14 verses or something on it. Marco, I think Sheffield are way better. Yeah, Sheffield United are playing much better. There's no doubt about that. That's the first shot there. I think that's the first shot on target from Sunderland. Chris Rigg has just had a volley from the edge of the area, straight down the throat to Cooper. Cooper's caught it, and that's that's the first real chance for Sunderland. Roby NUFC up the blades. Jake Curtin got to fly through Newcastle to get to Spain. That's the one. Yeah, I've heard that one. And they get a season ticket and a Happy Meal. Okay. They're funny. I like that. Daniel, do you think all relegated teams get promoted next season? Ooh, no, I don't actually. I think whoever loses this has got a very good chance. And I think Coventry, if they keep going, they've got a very good chance. Leicester and Southampton. I mean, Southampton with Will Still, they've got a good manager there, but I'm not convinced that Southampton have got a particularly strong team unless they keep Tyler Diblin. If they've got Will Still and Tyler Diblin, I think they might give it a really good chance. Ipswich too, yeah. Ipswich, Southampton. I don't think Leicester do. If I'm putting money on anyone now, I'd say it'd be Ipswich, Southampton. Oh no, actually, do you know what? I'd say Ipswich and Sunderland come up. Ipswich and Sunderland come up automatic, and Southampton via the playoffs. Bobby the goalie, reckon Patterson leaves Sunderland if they don't win. I think he's there's an outside chance, but I wonder if he goes to Everton to replace Pickford. That'd be a simultaneous, fortuitous end to Jordan Pickford's career. Sort of the next Sunderland goalkeeper off the conveyor belt. Patterson goes up to Everton, or goes down to Everton rather. Callum Pinder, City on top. City? Who's City? Johnny Robb, they got 27,000 empty seats. SCFC, Napoli have offered Kevin De Bruyne a contract. Right. I think he should stay in the Prem. I really hope he stays in the Prem. Callum Pinder, you lose every week. 20,000 empty seats, you lose every week. ESR, give me a follow, please. I'm a big fan of you. Happy to follow you on my other one, mate. I don't follow anyone on this channel. Happy to follow you on the other one that I've got. Frank 505 and Mbappe score today, yes or no? Possibly. We're not going to be watching that one. We're going to be doing this one, and then we're going to be doing the German Cup final. It's half time here. Half time. Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0. Sunderland are going to have to do something in this second half to turn things round, because I'll level with you, as it stands, it's looking far more likely that Sheffield United add to their lead rather than Sunderland. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't think this is going to be a happy end, happy ending for Sunderland. Bobby the goalie, Sam Tickle's going to leave. Caleb, oh yeah, and Lindelof is leaving. Decision made, said Fabrizio Romano in June. Yeah, Lindelof was always going. He was always going. Callum Binder, what team do you support? I support Liverpool, mate. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan. Don't hold that against me, though. Callum Pinder, Man City. Well, City aren't on top, though, are they? City have had a terrible season. A dreadful season. And I'm really interested to see what happens over the summer with City. To see how you recover, because I'm sure you will. I'm sure City will bounce back. As a Liverpool fan, I'm more concerned about City than I am Arsenal. And I'm sure that Pep Guardiola will go out there and get some quality in. Maybe a Morgan Gibbs-White, maybe a Tijani Reinders. And we shall see what happens with them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what City do next season. CS, where did you get those shirt holders? I collect, and I'm thinking of how I want them displayed at the moment at my apartment. Where did I get them from? I think they were just from Amazon, you know, mate. They were just from Amazon. They weren't anything specific. Jake Manure have expressed their interest in Newcastle for Sean Longstaff. That would be brilliant. I bet you'd like that. Yeah, I bet you'd like Sean Longstaff to leave. Daniel, Sunderland are very dull. I think they'd be lucky to get a playoff place next season. I'd like to see some more curveballs challenging to come up next season. You know, like a Blackburn. Blackburn were very close to coming up. Even Millwall were very close to coming up this season or getting into the playoffs. Rube, Scott McTominay, Gilmore and De Bruyne. What a midfield. Who'd have said they would have been playing together? Michael, Birmingham and Wrexham will be strong contenders next season. Birmingham paid $15 million for Jay Stansfield from Fulham, which is a record transfer in League One, as that division is not subject to PSR and FFP. I don't think Birmingham and Wrexham will push next season. I think it's probably maybe a couple of seasons for them. Next season will be about them finding their feet and staying up in the Championship. I don't think they'll push for the playoffs, personally. Daniel, I had Coventry finishing 4th this season. They'll have to show some real intent and challenge to the top 2, which is a big ask. They do play decent football, though. Yeah, they've got some good players there as well. Some good players. It's whether or not they can keep them as well, because I think if Sheffield United go up, Sheffield United have talked about targeting Radoni from Coventry. Now, if they go and get Radoni, Coventry then all of a sudden set back a couple of years, aren't they? Jolly Rob, they've got 41 players, no one knows. Michael Lindelof going, oh no, my heart bleeds. Bobby De Gaulle, what's the best away kit you've seen in this decade? Best away kit? I liked Arsenal's this year, the black one with sort of red and the green piping. I liked that. Arsenal tend to have good. I mean, anything by Adidas. I hate Liverpool's night kits. I hate any night kits, to be honest. Most Adidas kits are by far better. So Adidas aways are fantastic. If you've not yet seen it, I love Liverpool's away, or is it Liverpool's third kit this season coming? The green. Have a look at it. It's unbelievable. I've got to get that. That is going on the shelf next season. Liverpool's it's absolutely beautiful, like an emerald green. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Jake, City lose tomorrow. They might not get Champions League. City have got it, haven't they? Haven't they already secured it with the win over Bournemouth? City they've got Champions League. Geordie Rob, SCFC 2025, 1-0 Madrid. Mbappe missed penalty but scored the rebound. Okay. Daniel, hands off Radoni. They already stole Hamer, which was heartbreaking. Yeah, Radoni. I mean, Hadji Wright. There's been rumours linking Hadji Wright to Everton as well. That's another one that seems to be doing the rounds. Geordie Rob, you seen our new kit key? If not, check it out. Announced yesterday. Check the keepers one too. That was announced. Yes, I saw the home kit. Didn't like the home kit. Kind of looks fuzzy. Do you not think? The home kit looks a little bit fuzzy, like you've got vision problems when you're looking at Newcastle's home kit. Caleb Premdad, Liverpool are doing personal terms with Kirkes from Bournemouth. Are we really? I've not heard that. Kirkes. Liverpool are leading the race to sign Kirkes. Yeah, there's nothing that I've seen from Romano or anything like that in the last however long. Yeah. Liverpool have contacted Bournemouth for Milos Kerkez deal with talks now advancing. When was that? Oh, it was a while ago. Okay. Jake, they haven't. They're on 68 points. 2 in Chelsea and Villa win. City lose. They won't make it. Excuse me. All right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then fair enough. Fair enough. I stand corrected. Jake, I can't decide on whether to get the new tune Hometown Thursday or the new goalkeeper top. The Liverpool goalkeeper top, the black one, is special next season as well. Jake, I think City will win though. I think they'll get a point. And if I'm dead honest, I don't think Newcastle, Chelsea, and Villa all win. I think one of them at least drops points, and it's that reason that they don't get the Champions League football. But yeah, there's some fantastic kits. There is some fantastic kits that's out. Right, I'm not even. There's nothing at all on today, in terms of. Right, I'm not back in then. Sorry, I'm doing the old. I'm doing the bets to make sure that I've got everything that I need to on flash scores for notifications and everything. All the right scores popping up. Nothing in the Denmark Superliga. Is there anything in the Netherlands today? Eredivisie? No. Anything in the Elite Syrian? Yep, Bodo Glimt and Rosenborg. Anything in the Extraklasse? Jagiellonia against Pogon. And I think that was it. And I think there's the Swiss League as well kicking off later, isn't it? Swiss League. Where are you? There you go. Servette against Lausanne and Bâle against Luzern. I think that was what we had on. Anything in the Turkish Super League? Yeah. Göztepe against Galatasaray. Right, there you go. That's all my bets for today. I can keep up to date on them all now. Geordie Rob, do you do the Bulgarian League key? Mate, I have. I've bet on Ludogorets over the weekend and they've won. Bobby the goalie, bold statement, Brazil will not make it to the World Cup in 2026. Why do you think that? They're playing, is it Paraguay they've got? No. Who have they got tomorrow? Not tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. I've got him in a few weeks. We was going to do the live game. It's Brazil v... It's Argentina against Chile. It's Uruguay against Paraguay. And it's Brazil against... Who've Brazil got? It's doing me head in that now. I've got to remember who that was. Who have they got? Argentina are playing Chile. Uruguay are playing Paraguay. Brazil, Ecuador. Ecuador. Yeah, Ecuador. I wish, we should have had that. When that happened, then that should have been, that music should have kicked in. That would have been perfect. Totally unbelievable, but I didn't get it right. The goalkeeper shirt's clean, key. Have you seen that? I haven't, mate. No, I honestly haven't seen enough of the kits for next season yet. Liverpool are still under an embargo. They haven't actually got any they can't release the kits properly yet until the 1st of August, I believe. Daniel, Arsenal's Lynx Africa grew on me. Yeah, it was good, that, wasn't it? It was a good kit. Michael, Real Madrid 1, Real Sociedad 0, latest score, Mbappe scoring in Ancelotti's last match as manager of Madrid before becoming Brazil's national manager. Rubes, Brighton are winning the league next season, the Europa Conference League. Wouldn't disagree with that. Daniel, will you buy a Real replica shirt? No, I'm not really sure I would ever buy a Real Madrid. If I was ever going to buy a Real Madrid shirt, it would be one of the old, do you know the old classics with like the one that Predrag Mijatovic had on, and who was the other? Who was the centre back? Who was the Italian centre back? Panucci and Mijatovic. The purple collar, the big thick purple collar, when they were sponsored by Fika. Do you remember that? Do you remember that Real Madrid kit? That's the Real Madrid kit that I would have. Daniel, stop starting rumours at Coventry players unless it's for stupid money. Well, I didn't say anything about the size of the bid. The bid might be massive. I'm just saying. Sheffield United fans have been talking quite a lot about rumours that Chris Wilder, if they go up, they're bidding for Radoni. I don't know. Daniel, I want Chelsea to get Conference League and Newcastle to get Europa. Chelsea ain't going to get Conference League. They can't get Conference League at this point, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Brighton can catch him, can they? So, yeah, I don't think there's any chance Chelsea can get Conference. Michael, Kieran, what was the name of that podcast you mentioned earlier, as I want to sub to it, as you recommended it? Are you talking about the one that I wish I'd created? If it's that one, I would thoroughly recommend checking it out. It's called The Padded Seat. The Padded Seat. I've got no affiliation with them. They are massive. They're absolutely brilliant. The guy who does it is a genius. And I wish I'd thought of that one. Yeah, I'd love to have done that. But yeah, The Padded Seat. Great channel. Go and check it out. Jordy Rob, when you get a chance, look at our blue goalie kit. Go on, I'll have a look at it. Daniel, by real, I meant authentic, but it's always nice to hear your stories. Cheers, mate. You don't mean that. By real, I meant authentic. Will I buy a real replica shirt? Well, how can it be a real replica shirt then? How can it be an authentic replica? Do you mean as in from the club shop? Are you trying to say, Daniel, that these are all Temu? Is that what you're saying to me? Because I can assure you that that's not the case. I can absolutely assure you on all I hold dear that is not the case. They're doing chest compressions on the pitch at half time here, showing fans how to do chest compressions. That's good. Well, listen, Sunderland manager looks pretty calm. Hankster, coming from a toffee, Newcastle will win tomorrow. No, don't say that, Hankster. No, listen, I'm a Liverpool fan. I want Everton to get something tomorrow. I do think they're going to get something. Salzburg have scored against Rapid, Oscar Glauc. Glenn Campbell, do you play football? I haven't played football for a while, mate. You can probably tell. But I used to play football 3, 4, 5 nights a week. Then I had my little girl. And yeah, as you get older, it becomes really hard to get 10, 12 lads to play a game of 5-a-side. All your mates they all get married. They all get married off. You can't play footy all that easily when you get older. Forget the physical aspect of it. Just organising a bunch of lads to play footy is hard enough. When you're in your 20s, it's easy. You can just, hey mate, you fancy a game? Get down. We're playing. We're at the AstroTurf. Now you need like 6 months' notice to get your mates together. Daniel, 7th place is conference and is currently occupied. Completely possible for Chelsea to finish 7th since they play Forest tomorrow. Would you back yourself to perform CPR? Yes, I'm trained. I'm first aid trained. I was our first aider for a number of years. SCFC 2025, Man United and Manyan to replace Onana. Clips HQ, is there a way back for Man United? not for a long time, and with lots and lots of money. Ben growing on the idea of Vert after it seems he has actively chosen the Reds. Bayern presidents come out and said it's true. Vert has chosen Liverpool. Yeah, it's on, and it's exciting, but it's equally a little bit nerve-wracking as well, because to spend that much on one player, it's not very Liverpool, is it? You and I both know that. So yeah, I don't know. Completely possible for Chelsea to finish 7th since they play Forest tomorrow. Is that true? Is that accurate? If that is, then I've got it completely wrong. Chelsea, oh yeah, it could do. They could do. Well, yeah, I guess they could, yeah. I guess if Forest were to win, then in theory, yeah, Chelsea would be in the Europa Conference League, assuming then Betis beat them in the final. Right, we're off in the second half here. Sunderland underway. And they've got the ball, knocking it long. Up the pitch from Patterson. I do wonder whether or not we'll see Sunderland playing sort of how we saw Coventry do against them. Coming out in the second half and being a bit of a second half team. In the first half, they were pretty poor. Second half, they came out and started playing quite well. So I just wonder whether or not we'll see a bit of that from Sunderland. Maybe they'll have changed a couple of things around, got into the players at half time. And, it's the last 45 minutes of the season, lads. This is what you've worked hard for all year. You could have had automatic promotion. You flopped it at the last few games of the season. Now you've got to give everything. You've got to give everything. Michael, Kieran, as your podcast grows, will you eventually look for sponsorship and go down the Patreon route? I'm starting a Patreon for next season, mate. Yeah, I am. I'm starting a Patreon for next season. In terms of looking for sponsorship, I'm quite lucky in that I only planned to be getting sponsorship next season, and thankfully, the guys who sponsor the channel currently, which you can't see on TikTok, but if you go over to YouTube, you can. Those guys right there, who are really, really sound, they got in touch and said that they'd like to help us support the channel as it grows, and they're really, really impressed with the community we're building here. So that was quite nice. And I wasn't planning for it. So I'm hoping that continues and maybe it develops as the channel keeps going. But we'll see. Yeah, it'd be nice. Hopefully that is the case, mate. But I'm hoping to do something for Patreon next year. But it's going to have to be something that brings value in the sense of maybe I don't do a live every single day for everyone, but maybe for members only. We do some members only streams, things like that. Daniel, Sunderland don't have it in them to play good football. That's harsh. That is harsh. I think they've got some good players, Sunderland. They can knock it about all right. Oh, that was poor, though. That was really poor, and Harrison Burrows got on it really well there. Good play. Sunderland clear it away. Ben, don't like the fee, but really like what he has chosen us. Really like that he has chosen us. Good to have a squad who wants to play for us. Sammy, Mbappe, European Golden Boots. Johnny Rob, lethal attack used. Would Isak and Wirtz imagine? And mate, Isak is still on the radar, allegedly. Allegedly, Isak is still on the radar, and that's another reason I think if Newcastle don't get Champions League football tomorrow, which is infinitely possible, then all of a sudden it does become possible that Isak moves on. Callum, the Tottenham fans, Sunderland need to attack. Well, they've got a corner. They've got a corner here. They're pushing forward. They are pushing forward. Quick reminder, if you haven't yet subscribed on YouTube, please do click subscribe. Makes a massive difference. Please also click like as well if you're watching this. If you're on TikTok and you haven't yet gone over to YouTube and subscribed, go and search Premier League Dad. Go and search us on YouTube. Find us and give us a like and a sub. It makes a massive difference to us. We're live every single day with watch-alongs. We've got 3 tomorrow. 2 today, 3 tomorrow. Champions League final and the Conference League final to come as well. And you can find the full schedule on YouTube as well. Geordie Rob, anywhere near your first play button? Well, I don't know what you need to do to get your first play button. I have no idea. What do you need to do to get your first play button? How many subscribers? 100,000? Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. I've got 5 or thereabouts. I've got nearly 5, and that's taken me 6 months. So, yeah, 5. Callum already sub, mate. Don't worry. Cheers, Callum. Good lad. Rubes, Kieran, we have spoke about this. Isaac ain't leaving. Well, listen, I'm just saying. There's always a chance. There's always a chance. Daniel, if Bellingham was as good as casuals say, then Sunderland would have a chance, but he's not, so they don't. You got a real stick with Sunderland, haven't you? Don't like Sunderland. Clips HQ, I'll say it. I think United win the league next season. What league? Callum, one of my mates, has a gold play button. Ask him to get in touch. I could do with some tips. Ask him to get in touch. I am reaching out to some people in the niche to try and see if I can learn. Because you're always learning. You're always learning. Got to keep learning. So yeah, I'm reaching out to a few people to see what we can learn and how we can adapt. Rubes, don't forget the massive Unity Cup. Well, listen, the Unity Cup is where it's at. That's bigger than the Champions League final. The old Unity Cup at the Brentford Community Stadium. Jamaica against Trinidad and Tobago. Big game. Sunderland, chance. They're just getting crowded out. Sheffield United are playing very, very well defensively. And there's just too many bodies in that box. They're not getting anywhere near it. Michael, this time last year, my team Leeds lost to Southampton in the playoff final. Last 4 of our top players, but invested well during last summer. Beefed up the squad, which is now better balanced. There you go. Sheffield United are in again here. It could be 2. Comes out to the edge of the area. Oh! Claim for the penalty. You're not getting that. Sunderland with a long ball forward. Mayenda can't quite get on it. Why are they playing long, high balls up to Mayenda? That is not his game. You've got to go over the top or into the channels. You can't do that. Callum, he's an Everton fan. Don't think you'll want his advice. Well, yeah, no, of course I'd want his advice just because he's an Everton fan. If he's an Everton fan and he's got a gold play button, then he's all right with me. Mason, good to see you. How's it going? You've seen what Ornstein said about Garnacho and Amorim. Yeah, allegedly so. Allegedly so. He said that Garnacho can leave. Amorim has told incredible star to leave Manchester United in meeting today. Ruben Amorim will be staying at Man United next season, but has told winger Alejandro Garnacho to find a new club, according to David Ornstein of The Athletic. Losing the Europa League final confirmed that Manchester United would end their worst ever Premier League season without any European football for the new campaign for the first time in over a decade. The Reds have endured a terrible term, and much has been said about Garnacho, who has been called an incredible player since Amorim's appointment. And Ornstein has said that Garnacho was told at Carrington over the weekend that he would be sold as Amorim explained his plans to the players. Garnacho was dropped earlier in the season by Amorim, but seemingly regained his manager's trust, becoming a key part of the Red Devils team within the last 6 months of the season. Many clubs have held an interest in Garnacho, who spent time in United's youth academy, and Garnacho is all but certain, especially now, to leave Manchester United. But the question, of course, is where will the winger move to? So where will Garnacho go to? We just too crazy. Who's winning? Currently Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0. Sunderland are coming a little bit more back into it in the second half. But they haven't really created any meaningful chances, and I'll be honest, it's looking very much like Sunderland are going to lose this one. Brandon, shocking coach, should be trying to support the players. Mason Garnacho for PSR will be pure profit and allow them to sell. Hopefully Umbermo stays with us. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Umbermo... I can't see Umbermo staying at Brentford. Daniel, you should have applied to Stream of University. I don't know what that is. Callum, I'll see what he says. He's on holiday in Monaco watching F1. I bet he is. I bet he is with his gold YouTube play button. Michael, if it was 2 seasons ago, Man United as Tottenham would be in serious trouble fighting relegation with no assurances that they would survive. The bottom 3 over the last 2 seasons have been very poor. That's true. That's very true. But I do think next season we will see an uplift. And I think that next season at least one of the established Premier League teams over the last couple of years will go down. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the 3 that come up, go straight back down. I think we'll see maybe an Everton or a West Ham or a Wolves. Someone like that could get dragged into it. Callum, Garnacho to leave and move to a team like Forest. I think he's far more likely to go abroad, mate. I think we're probably looking at... Is Sheffield United coming forward here again? Yeah, I think we're probably looking at Napoli. Chelsea have been linked with Garnacho though, haven't they? Daniel, do you think it's better to lose earlier in cup competitions if you're not going to win? No, not at all. No, you should always try to go the furthest you possibly can. Rubes, Callum, you forgot Kieran is a closet Everton fan. No, I'm not, Rubes. Don't be spreading hate. Geordie Rob, you should think of doing Twitch. I am on Twitch. Yeah, I am on Twitch, mate. We're on Twitch right now. We're on Twitch. We're on X. We're on Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. We're on all of them. Mason, I think Newcastle get Umbermo from us. Yeah, he's a good fit for Newcastle, isn't he? Daniel, it's a university for streamers. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Daniel. Something tells me you're on the wind up. Streamer University. Okay. Now accepting applications. 150 plus creators. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Callum Rubes, nah, he's a Tottenham fan. I saw him at the parade. Ooh, that was a bit of a naughty foul, naughty tackle. Chris Kavanagh's got a yellow card out here. Who's he booking? Is it Vinny Souza? Who's he booked? No, Tyrese Campbell. Tyrese Campbell has got a booking. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Rhian Brewster. Right, long ball forward here from Cooper. Sheffield United pushing forward as best they can, but Sunderland are just... They're pressing incredibly well, trying to break the ball down, get it back from him. You can see the way that Sunderland have set up, it is quite aggressive. They're basically playing with a front 3 now, and they're getting lots of bodies high up into the Sheffield United half. They're going to have lots of chances to win the ball back here. The problem is that Sheffield United not one ball long over the top. If Kiefer Moore wins it, Tyrese Campbell's in. So they're taking some chances here. You can see Sunderland are taking chances when they're pressing forward. They're getting more bodies into the Sheffield United half. Rubes, I think if you get relegated three times, you shouldn't get parachute payments. Oh, God. Daniel, how long before the referees give up on the goalkeeper's ball retention, corner kick punishment? Is that actually going to happen, though? Something tells me that won't even happen. Coops, up the blades. SCFC 2025, Man United want to sign Mateta. Well, Mateta's got 1 year left on his contract. Yeah, 1 year left on his contract. Ben and Burmo would be an absolutely great signing for Newcastle. They need someone on that right-hand side, don't they? Last 30 minutes of the big playoff final here. Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0. Sheffield United have already had a goal ruled out. It's a long ball into the box. Good claim from Patterson there. Really good claim. And he's looking to get the ball forward quickly as well. Callum, I'm not far from Wembley tomorrow. Well, there's... Is it Walsall and Wickham tomorrow? Or Charlton and Leyton Orient tomorrow? Who plays tomorrow? Can't remember. Sobby Lobby, if I say Elisa's better than Yamal, what would you tell me? I'd say you're trying to wind people up. You're trying to wind people up. Cheers, Jaden. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, there's no way Yamal's not better than Elise. Elise is a very good player, though. But he's not Yamal levels. Charlton v Leyton Orient tomorrow. Okay. Charlton v Leyton Orient tomorrow. And yeah, Walsall versus Wimbledon on Monday. Bank holiday Monday. Michael, Manchester United will now find it difficult to attract players without European football next season. They will. I mean, they'll find it difficult to attract players full stop because good players keep coming to Manchester United and failing. It's not a particularly... Like, if you're a very, very good young player and you've got a choice of places to go to build your career, Manchester United would probably be the last on that list right now because it's not a place where young players can go and thrive. It's a place where young players are going to get absolutely thrown to the wolves, and we've seen that with Rasmus Højlund. It's not a place for young players to go and play good football. So I think a lot of players will treat Manchester United with caution this summer. Daniel, what do you think of Diddy? Why does he keep throwing me these curveball questions, mate? Are you trying to end the channel? Get me to slip up? I honestly haven't got an opinion. I don't know anything at all about what's going on. That's the truth. I honestly don't know anything about at all what's going on. If you was to ask me about my opinion of him, the only opinion I could give you is about him as a musician. And if I'm dead honest, I don't even know a whole lot about that. I could maybe name you 5 songs from back in the day. So, yeah, I haven't got an opinion. If the allegations are true, then not a very nice man. That's probably the only thing I can say. But I honestly don't know anything about it. I don't keep up with it. My missus does. My missus knows all about it. She's forever trying to tell me about it. I just don't even... Feels like there's something in the news every other week about stuff like that, and I just don't even pay attention to it. It doesn't interest me. Callum, I know Spurs are home, so I might drift off there. Yeah, Spurs v Brighton. We've got atmosphere, that. Rubes, good weekend for the Geordies. Well, it is if they get beat here, Sunderland, then it's been a great weekend for them, hasn't it? Unless the Ev can get a result at St James's Park tomorrow and knock the Barcodes, the horse punchers, into the Europa League. Jaden, level 10. Cheers, Jaden. Good man. Top guy. Right, Brewster and Campbell off for Brooks and O'Hare for Sheffield United. Rubes, that ain't happening. Honestly, for a Brighton fan, you're an awful big Newcastle fan, Rubes. Callum, Son and Romero apparently injured. Yeah, Romero looked like he was beaten, to be honest, in the Europa final, didn't he? He looked like he was on his last legs. Football fan need a Sunderland goal. Well, there was a prominent bookie who was offering 2 to 1. 2 to 1 for both teams to score, and I think it was boosted to 3 to 1. So there's a lot of people I know for this game have backed both teams to score at 3 to 1. They've put a tenner on or whatever, easy money. They said, and yeah, they're going to be very, very disappointed. I think Daniel horse punches. Yeah, well, that's again very much alleged. Very much alleged. Rubes, I live there. We won't hold that against you, mate. Mark Robinson, 132. Have we signed Frimpong and the other lad? Not just yet, we haven't, no. No, not just yet, we haven't. Frimpong is pretty much done, though. The other lad, we haven't, though. The other lad's still ongoing. Still the wages and medical to be decided, I believe. But apparently he wants it done by the 3rd of June. At the absolute latest. Well, hey, there you go. Roof of the net from Patrick Roberts. Still 1-0 Sheffield United. Football fan, yeah, for me, it's just to make the game interesting. Yeah, that's it. I mean, Christ, if you don't want to be doing it as a way to actually make... Razim, how are you? Just got back from the gym and haven't watched the game yet. How's it going? Saw Sheffield United is leading, which isn't great. I needed Sunderland to qualify. Madrid game is on too. Mbappe scored. Yeah, I've been keeping up to date on the Madrid game. I heard that he scored, I think it was a rebound from a penalty. But yeah, this one's not been a particularly good game, if I'm dead honest. It's been all Sheffield United, as we expected. Sunderland haven't really laid a glove on them. Sheffield United have had a goal disallowed as well, so they're 1-0 up, and they were very close to being 2 up, and at that point that would have been game, set and match. So I'm not entirely sure that it was a particularly good performance today from Sunderland. Bit disappointing. Callum Son hit his head on the trophy. That's the only injury I know. Yeah, Son needs a good pre-season to get back and see if he can make it for the new season. Right, here's Bellingham, I think, driving forward for Sunderland. Good play. Michael, if Sheffield United go up and them and Burnley have the same sort of season in the Prem, then what was the point of promotion? Burnley have already lost one of their top players, Egan Riley, to Strasbourg. Well, I mean, look, Sheffield United, Burnley and Leeds were the top 3 teams in the Championship this year, weren't they? They were the top 3 teams, and you know, it makes sense that those 3 would be the 3 that would come up. So, if those 3 come up and all 3 go back down again, then I think it's fair to say at that point, I was wrong, first thing. Second thing, you know, we need to have a very serious conversation about what's happening with the Championship and the Premier League, because, oh no, it should be 2. It should be 2. Oh, Sunderland have had an absolute shocker there. I don't know who it was at the back, but he makes an absolutely horrendous decision to try and shepherd the ball back to his goalkeeper. Who is it? Who is it? Sirkin. It was Sirkin who made the decision to shepherd the ball back. Sunderland are claiming a penalty now here as well. And the referee's being asked to stop and... No, he's not checking it. He's not checking it. But Sirkin here... The ball got played long over the top. Sirkin decides to shepherd it back to his keeper. He gets it all wrong. And it's a really good save from Patterson. A really, really good save. But Sirkin very nearly cost his team here. I'm not sure who it is who actually has the shot. Is it Brewster? No, it's not Brewster. Brewster's gone off. It must be Campbell then. No, Campbell's still on the pitch. Who is it then? Who's come on? Who's come on? Was it Brooks? Maybe it's Brooks. It was Brooks. And Gustavo Hamer's gone down here as well. He looks like he might have to come off. Callum, next season, Leicester, Coventry and Sunderland to come up. Okay, Razine, I'm just waiting for the Women's Champions League final. Barca girls, gonna win it. It kicks off in 20 minutes, that one, doesn't it? Razine, by the way, what lacks Sunderland? Aren't they much quick in transition? At this moment in time, I don't think it's anything to do with transition. I don't think they are particularly quick. They've got some quick players, but it feels to me like the ball doesn't move quick enough with Sunderland. There's not enough zip on the pass. They're always quite lethargic in how they play. Bryn Robert, Ty Buddy, only one team deserves to go through, and it ain't the Mackhams. It's a shame. I was rooting for them. Yeah, mate, I'm the same, Bryn. I really did think we'd see Sunderland give it a good go today, but no, Sheffield United have absolutely battered him. It's only been one team in it. Potential penalty to Sheffield United? No, it was a potential penalty to Sunderland and it's been immediately ruled out. Marco, what is he doing? Yeah, he fluffed it, didn't he? Dennis Sirkin, not very good from him. They're making a couple of changes here, and Wilson Isidore is about to come on for Sunderland. What's the score? It's currently 1-0 to Sheffield United. Colin, the Tottenham fan, Hamer's injured. Yeah, Hamer's injured, and it's two big changes here for Sunderland in the last 20 minutes. It's going to be, I think it's Romain Mundle coming off for Wilson Isidore. And it's also going to be Dan Neil coming off. And Tom Watson coming on. So Isidore on for Mundle, Watson coming on for Neil. Last throw of the dice. Very last throw of the dice from Lebris. Is it Lebris or Lebris? Razim, can't understand, mate. Mark Goldbridge has one of the biggest football channels in the UK, and yet he's not doing a watch-along for this game. Well, hey, listen, that's up to Mark Goldbridge. This is why I'm hoping, maybe in time this one will get bigger. You never know. We give you quality and quantity on here. We get channels, live watch-alongs every single day. If there's footy on, we're live. Goldbridge does a quarter of the watch-alongs that we do. Jake Curtin, Liverpool and Newcastle both have held talks with João Pedro. That's another one I don't really like. I don't want João Pedro. I think he's another Kai Havertz. He would link things together nicely, though. He would link things together nicely. Razine, can you do Barca Bilbao instead of Venezia Juve? No, absolutely not. Barca Bilbao's got nothing. No, there's nothing on it, mate. It's that game's dusted. Callum, Mark Goldbridge quit after the final. Here's Sheffield United getting into the box. Oh, cleared away by Sunderland. And again, Sheffield United, the blades just keep on coming. Ball into the box. Kiefer Moore heads it down. It's just all one-way traffic, this. Sunderland can't have anything to complain about here. And again, it's looking like that Dan Ballard goal, that big Dan Ballard goal that we were all here watching. We did the watch-along for it. Sunderland against Coventry. Dan Ballard, last kick of the game. It looks like that was all for nothing. Sheffield United are going to take him to the cleaners here. Here's Sheffield United driving forward. Kiefer Moore picks it up. That's a foul, referee. He's not give it. He's not give it. Daniel, Sunderland should be docked points ahead of next season because they play such boring football. Razine, Callum, aren't you an Atleti fan? There's two, mate. Razine, we've got multiple Callums in this group. Callum the Tottenham fan, is a Tottenham fan. Callum, the other Callum, is an Atleti and Liverpool fan. Did you see his reaction after the final? Yes, I did see his reaction. TikToker, unpopular opinion. If Liverpool don't find a replacement for VVD soon, they'll be bad. Wirtz doesn't matter. I mean, I'd still say Wirtz makes a difference going forward, and Virgil van Dijk is still the best centre-back in the world. So, and he looked the best centre-back in the world last season, so he's not in any danger of... Oh, Sunderland are in! What a goal! What a goal! He scored it! It's Mayenda! What a finish! Oh my God, what a goal! That is absolutely sensational. It's Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 1. Mayenda gets the ball. It's a fabulous pass into his feet. And Luca 9 is there. Luca 9's there celebrating him with a sling in his arm. He's got his arm in a sling and he's there chasing him over to the corner flag. That's a fantastic goal. And I'm telling you, this one's going to extra time and penalties. It's an unbelievable finish, this. It's a great bit of play. Who is it who gets the ball to him? Who is it who gets that pass into him? That's a fabulous pass. That is an absolutely sensational pass. Who is that? It's a wonderful pass into him. And first one little touch. And then he smashes it into the roof of the net. Mayenda. Sheffield United 1. Sunderland 1. Playoff final. Back on. Whew, that's a great goal. That's a fabulous goal. Love that. Absolutely love that. Let's go. Look at Luke at 9 there with his arm in a sling. He's absolutely smashing it. Was it Joe Bellingham who passed that? Who passed that? Whoever passed that, that was sensational. It was the assist was as good as the goal. It really was. Patrick Roberts. I know he's 28, but I tell you something, the pass from Patrick Roberts there was exceptional. It was really, really good. Perfect weight, right into his path, ran onto it, one quick touch and smashed it into the roof. That's one of the great Championship playoff final goals, that. Really, really good. Top of the net. Jordy Roberts because Hamer came off injured. Well, Chris Wilder, he's got a face like a bulldog licking piss off a nettle. He's not a happy man. It's Brooks who's just got a book in there, I think. User 1675368. What's the score? It is 1-1. Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 1. The Mackhams have just got level. Barely a minute ago. Mayenda with a fantastic effort. Not the Randy Orton celebration. Please, Sunderland. I think Sheffield United are still going to win, says Marco. I think Sheffield United have been the better team and they'll be amazed that they're finding themselves level going into the last 10 minutes of the game. Honestly, they don't deserve this, Sunderland. They really don't deserve this. User 1675368. Who are you supporting? I am a Sunderland... Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, sorry. I'm a Liverpool fan. But I want Sunderland to come back up because of the Time Weir derby. I have nothing against Sheffield United at all. If you're asking me to pick a team, I would prefer Sunderland to come up. But I always said that I think Sheffield United are the better of the two teams and I think they'll win on the day. So, I'm happy that it's a game. I'm happy that there's a game being made of this now. Geordie Rob, they should bring Rob Holding on as he has Prem experience. Those Sheffield United fans, those blades, look at him, head in their hands. He's absolutely raging. He's raging. Reece, Chris Wilder needs a Stella. Geordie Rob, did Mayenda do the Randy Orton thing that he does with his arms? Yeah, Joe Bellingham just had a shot from distance there, just wide. But Sunderland have got Sheffield United on the ropes now. Patrick Roberts. The ball from Patrick Roberts was unbelievable. It really was. You keep seeing that back. It's a great ball and a great goal. Everything about that goal was top class. That was Premier League quality. That was Premier League quality. Jake Curtin, have you seen the state of Trafalgar Square from Sunderland fans? Knee class, man. Oh. Sunderland getting into the area here. Is it Patrick Roberts? Cleared away. Patrick Roberts has already had an impact off the bench here. What's going on? The ball's flat. The ball is flat. It's not good in a Championship playoff final. Marco, I'm an Inter fan. I hope it goes to penalties. User 1675. Sad that whatever team goes up is destined to go back down. I don't think that's true. No, I don't think that's true. Cheers for sharing the live. Thanks for sharing, mate. I appreciate it. If we can all tap and share the live, that makes a big difference. Thank you very much. My Ender needs a better club than Sunderland. Maybe if Pedro leaves Brighton, they'll try and get him. Yeah. Cheers for sharing, Reese. Cheers for sharing. We're at 8,500 likes. Let's see if we can try and break the 10,000 by the end of this game. Especially if we go to extra time and penalties. Bryn, get in. Daniel, fair play. The only decent bit of play from Sunderland leads to a goal. That's it. Yeah. Callum, the Tottenham fan. Job in the Prem, then gets a great season and signed by a top club. Well, there's rumours linking him to Borussia Dortmund, following his big brother's path. Callum, I said this would happen. Michael, Celtic 1, Aberdeen 1, last 82 minutes. Keeper, Kasper Schmeichel, goalkeeping howler, giving Aberdeen the equaliser. Christ, Scottish Cup final is also looking like it's going to extra time. Callum, the Tottenham fan, the Newcastle derby will be exciting. Daniel says Hamer coming off early was why Sunderland scored. This could be the second time Hamer loses a playoff final after coming off injured. He's got rotten luck. Callum, the Tottenham fan, the ball popped like Arsenal's trophy hopes. User, the gap between 17th and the promotion teams is huge. Only team I think could possibly go down next season is Wolves. Everton, mate. Everton have been circling the drain for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. I don't know how you can say Everton aren't. I mean, I know David Moyes has done well with them recently, but I mean, Everton are down there. I think Wolves, you never know how they're going to react after Cunha leaves. Christ, West Ham. West Ham haven't been brilliant under Graham Potter, so you never know what's going to happen there. I mean, even Man United, look, you know, we joke, we jest, but United were on 30 points in December. They're on 39 in May. 9 points in 5 months. That's relegation form. I don't care what anyone says. That is relegation form. So the idea that Man United can't go down next season, I mean, they say they've reached the bottom. Maybe they've not. Maybe this isn't the bottom. Geordie Rob, and here we are, here we go. Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall, any night. Jake Curtin, those being promoted can't spend. Okay, this year coming up, it's next year where it cripples them, PSR. Timmy, Sheffield United should see this out. Ben, Everton are in for Delap. Can't see a world in which he ends up there. Well, I do. Yeah, I do. Apparently, he's been spoken to by Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle and Everton. And I think of those clubs, he would get the most game time at Everton. So I think the best club for his career right now would be Everton. Yeah. He'd go there, he'd be the best player. And he'd probably get the World Cup squad, wouldn't he? He'd go to Everton, he'd be their best player, and he would be in the World Cup squad. If he goes to Newcastle, he'll be on the bench. Unless he's at goals. Which, again, is infinitely possible. It is infinitely possible. Shockzinho, Charlton or Orient, mate? I think Charlton. Yeah, I think Charlton. I've had a feeling about Charlton. all season, and I think they probably do just go up. So I'm backing Charlton, I'm backing Walsall in the other one against Wimbledon. So I think it's I've said all along, I want Sunderland, but I think it'll be Sheffield United. I want Wimbledon, but I think it'll be Walsall, and I want Charlton. I want Charlton to come up, and I think they will win. So we shall see. Ben, 9 points since December is absolutely abysmal. Would be a great signing for Everton, but I don't think Delap ends up there. Mossy, Chelsea will go for a bigger striker if they get Champions League. Hope Sunderland do this. We're off to Wembley tomorrow to watch it. Nice. Good luck. Enjoy that, mate. Well, yeah, we'll be doing it live as well. We're doing the watch along here, so give us a like, subscribe. You can get over to YouTube as well and subscribe as well. That makes a big difference to our channel if you do. Big love and all that if you can do that for us. And then, you know, you can watch back. You can watch the reactions back when Charlton go up. When Charlton go up tomorrow, you can relive the atmosphere that we created watching the game. Geordie Rob, does it go straight to penalties? No, it'll be 30 minutes of extra time first. Bloody hell, that was some tackle, that. Whoo-wee, who was that? Who was that? Who was that? He's just absolutely totaled him. Oh, absolutely flew through him. Was it Ben Brereton Diaz? Brereton Diaz has just got absolutely smashed. That was a proper tackle. There's nothing wrong with that. Jake, Newcastle want a backup striker. If Isak goes, they'll want two. Callum Wilson leaving also. Newcastle realise they need someone to rotate with Isak. Mate, there's no way that Delap goes to Newcastle to be rotated. He's literally playing. He wants to play every week. He wants to be the best player every week. And you don't go to a club where you're going to be rotated. There's no way. Newcastle aren't that big of a club. That's not a step up for Liam Delap. The right career move would be to go to a club that's maybe not as good as Newcastle, but he'll play every week. Hankster, Sunderland for me now. Do we think the balance of power is shifting? Feels like it's becoming a Sunderland late flurry. Maybe they can get a late winner. Daniel, do you think Europa League can be considered a major trophy after 36 teams in the Champions League and no Champions League dropouts? Yeah, of course it's still a major trophy. Yeah, I do, yeah. I think it would be disappointing. Yeah, look, there's classes of trophies. The Carabao Cup is not as big as the FA Cup. The Premier League, the Champions League are the creme de menthe. Look at Jordan Henderson there. Jordan Henderson. Still in the England squad. How has that happened? How is he still in the England squad? He's a wonderful player, Jordan Henderson, but he shouldn't be in the England squad. After diving to give Shah that red. What red? What red? I don't know who dived to give Shah a red. I've missed a quote here, Geordie Rob. I've missed a comment. Who dived? Hankster looks a good player, that my ender. Yeah, he has. He has been very good. First game of the season, Newcastle v Southampton. Who dived? Yeah, Mayenda is a very, very talented player. He's still only 20 years old as well. Spanish international. Very, very talented player. And I think he's one that could be picked from here if, indeed, Sunderland don't come up. That so-called elbow Shah done to Diaz. Brereton Diaz. Or should I say headbutt? First game of the season, you played Southampton. I don't know. Was Brereton Diaz on loan at Southampton? That does ring true, but for some reason I can't remember it. Reese, did you see Maddison go full John Terry when Spurs won the Europa? Yeah, we did a video on it, mate. There's a video on it on the channel. Daniel, I would say FA Cup is now bigger, better and tougher than Europa League. It's not as prestigious. Not as prestigious. He's lost me, lol. Hangster, you and me both, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Google it. What am I'm Googling an elbow that sharded to... Mate, it was the first game of the season. You need to move on. It's been and gone. Here's Tom Cannon coming on for Brereton Diaz and Tom Davis, who looks like a 1960s corn star, I think, there. With that tash and her. Tom Cannon winning could be. Well, there's two players who've got a head injury here. Shah headbutt to Brereton Diaz. He's not even chilliest. I don't like. Well, there's 7 minutes of added on time here at the end of this game. 7 minutes. And we're sick. Well, we're a minute in. Chris Wilder is looking very, very tense. It's getting to the point in the game where one goal, one mistake could just decide an entire club season. Callum, the Sunderland players, reacted quicker than anyone else. Is that Peter Risdale? Is he still going? Who's he involved with now? Is he involved with Sunderland? Peter Ridsdale. Do you know what? He doesn't look any different to how he did when he was running Leeds. Blimey. These limited characters can't even make sense with what I'm saying. Get off Diaz, recover soon, but get that off the pitch. Mate, if you're fed up with limited characters, get over to YouTube. You can type as many characters as you want then. We're live on YouTube now with a better camera angle. Get over to YouTube. You can type to your heart's content over there. Daniel, do you think it was fair that Diaz was dropped from the Chile squad because he doesn't speak Spanish? Is that the reason? Is that the reason that he was dropped? If that is the case, then yeah, that's the first I've heard of it. Let's have a look. British-born striker told Essential that he learned Spanish to play for Chile. I would like him to learn Spanish, said Ricardo Gareca. I think it is important. Gareca added that he wished to look at other options to Brereton Diaz for their 2 friendlies in Europe on the 22nd and the 26th of March. He was called up for the Copa America 2 years ago. He's had enough time to learn how to speak Spanish. It's something that I personally told him I would like him to speak Spanish. I consider it essential for communication with his teammates, with me, the coaching staff, the people and the press. Do you know what? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I absolutely agree, yeah. I absolutely agree with that. He absolutely should speak English. Spanish. Not English, Spanish. The FA Cup is one of the most prestigious competitions in world football. Of course. And it is. But I think if you're a team and you're offered the opportunity to win the Europa League or the FA Cup, I know which one teams would prioritise. And I don't think it'd be the FA Cup. Callum, Tottenham fan, he's been down a while, only started to get up. Don't like seeing players go down after that. I've witnessed in football. Yep. No, agreed. Hopefully he's alright. Seems like he'll be alright. 3 minutes left here, although I'm sure there'll be added minutes to the added minutes. It's just all getting a little bit scrappy in there now. Wilder has just opened the bottle cap to drink the Lucozade when he could have just opened the cap. Hank Stern, not the player he was at Blackburn for me now. Here's Sunderland driving forward. Shot from distance. He scored it! He's won it! He's won it! It's Sirkin in the... Oh my God! In the 95th minute! In the 95th minute! Oh my God! It's not Sirkin, it's Watson. It's Watson, it's the substitute. Sunderland have gone up. Sunderland are going to be a Premier League club. They get their hot dog sausage and a burger bun. Sunderland's a massive club. They are coming up to the Prem. What a finish that is. Kiefer Moore in the mud. Sheffield United in the mud. What a finish that is. What an unbelievable finish. Sunderland were driving forward. I've got to get the goal animation on TikTok, on YouTube. It's there, 2-1. He picks it up deep. He gets to the... That's a brilliant finish. It's about 25 yards out. It's about 25 yards out. It's Kiefer Moore who gives it away. Kiefer Moore gives it away. And edge of the box, just passes it in. Daisy cutter along the floor. Number 40, Watson, the young lad who's just come off the bench. Oh, that's some goal. It's some goal. It's a fabulous end to this game. And I'll tell you something, I really don't think... I really don't think that Sunderland could have picked a better player to do it. Tom Watson, 19 years of age. He's only just come through the Sunderland Academy. He's a local lad. He's come through the academy and he's just scored the winner at 19 years of age. Wembley playoff final to take Sunderland to the Premier League. We've been saying pretty much for the entire game, for 75 minutes, we've been saying Sheffield United have got this in the bag. They have got it wrapped up. It's definitely Sheffield United's game. And Sunderland have turned it around with 2 goals of unbelievable quality. When I say I mean serious quality. The goal from Mayenda, mwah! The goal from Watson was unbelievable too. 2 young players, Mayenda, 20 years of age, Tom Watson, 19 years of age. This is why I said I wanted Sunderland in the Premier League, because those quality, that quality of the Prem, Chris Rigg, Joe Bellingham, you know, you can add in Isidore as well to that. Plus Mundle as well, Romain Mundle, Dan Ballard, Dan Neil. Good players, really good young players. That is what we need more of in the Premier League. That's brilliant. Sunderland. Oh, and now they're doing the right thing. They're taking Mayenda off and they've gone to 5 at the back. Mayenda's gone off. Leo Kjelder has come on, a centre-back, for the last few minutes here. I'm sure Sheffield United will just pump this long. It's going to be 2-1. Unbelievable end to this game. Callum, what did I say? 1-0 Sheffield United, then 2-1 Sunderland. You did, Callum. You called it, mate. You called it. Daniel, the Hamer injury prophecy comes true again. The smoothest side foot finish I've seen in a while. That was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? And what a young player to do it as well. The young lad from Sunderland, Tom Watson, off the bench. He came off the bench barely 15 minutes ago. Beautiful finish. Absolutely sensational. Callum, teams this season that have struggled with success have gave success. Yeah, totally agree. Sunderland get it forward. Lucas Lambert, Jude Bellingham will be on his phone right now. Oh, there you go. It was Tom Cannon offside. Dave 086, nice to see Sunderland back in the Prem. Yep. Oh, those Sheffield United fans are broken. They are broken. It's a shame. Look at them young lads. The young lads in tears. They are broken because not barely 20 minutes ago this game was theirs. It was in the palm of their hand. It was there. Sheffield United had it. They'd done it. They'd won it. And Sunderland out of nowhere, 2 just sensational goals to turn things round. Michael, year of the underdogs. Newcastle, Palace, Tottenham and Sunderland all winning final trophies. The question on everyone's lips now is just how long will Chris Kavanagh give? Because he gave 7 minutes. We're now in the 100th minute. We are 2.5 minutes over the injury time that was allotted. There'll definitely be maybe another couple of minutes to give, given the goal, given the injuries that we've had in injury time. So we might allow maybe another 3 or 4. There might still be time for Sheffield United to equalise here. FM No Casuals, poor Wilder, my heart bleeds. D. Nickel, would have hated them to go up. No Skill Aaron says Sunderland. Luke, Sunderland, proper Prem team. Great to have them back. Freya Nash, lifelong Sunderland fan. Great to see you, Freya. Unbelievable result, this. Absolutely made up for Sunderland. You love to see it. Feddy, who do you think's going to win the Champions League? I honestly, I think it's going to be PSG. And it's a free kick to Sunderland there. And Lefay, absolutely. Just look at that. Look at the passion oozing from those Sunderland players on the pitch. They know they've got it. They've got it so close. They can taste it. Jordan Henderson beaming in the stands. I'm chuffed for Jordan Henderson as well. Look at him. It's good to see. It's good to see. The big North East derby next season. The big time where that's going to be back. Newcastle and Sunderland. What do we make of it? Chris Kavanagh. How many minutes? How many minutes have they got here? That's a waste. I don't know who that was who's just knocked that in. He should have just took that to the corner. That was pathetic from the Sunderland player there. Sheffield United score now. I'd be cancelling his contract for that. He's just had the ball in the corner and decided to cross it for some reason to no one. And he's give the ball straight back to Sheffield United to pump it up the pitch. Sheffield United get it back here. They're driving forward. That's too heavy. And it's gone straight out for a throw into Sunderland. Poor from Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore, to be honest, he'll be questioning everything. Because if I'm dead honest with you, it's his fault for the goal, isn't it? It's his fault for the goal. Jack Chapman, can we hear the roar when they win? Or can you not do that? Go on, yeah, we can probably do that. Oh. There you go. That's the roar. And it was a roar. Believe me, it was a roar. Chris Wilder fuming. Sunderland are promoted to the Premier League. Unbelievable. There you go. What an absolutely sensational finish that was to that game. Kiefer Moore, the camera's concentrated on him. And that, do you know what? That's sad. That's sad because it's not his fault. It isn't his fault. I know I said it was his fault. It isn't his fault. It's that man there, Tom Watson, picking the ball up from deep and driving at the Sheffield United defence, and just a wonderful placed finish. And Mayenda before him, Mayenda, Watson, they've all been fantastic. They've all been absolutely brilliant. And Sheffield United, they'll have to go again next season. It's going to have to be a tough season for them. There's Jack Robinson, ex-Liverpool. Sad to see him suffering as well. But the Sheffield United end has emptied very, very quickly there. Look at the Sunderland fans. It's bouncing in the Sunderland end. The Sheffield United end is emptied. It's emptied. They're pouring out of Wembley. Newcastle v Sunderland. Here we come. Reece, come on, Sunderland. You know, it's a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. Daniel, will there be a Wilder crash out like against Plymouth? Maybe some stuff. Yes, Mystic Meg. Henderson maybe to Sunderland next season, says Michael. That's a very good shout, isn't it? A very good shout, yeah. Daniel, snatch and grab from Sunderland in all of their last 3 games. Well, you've got to say, haven't you? Yeah, the big Dan Ballard goal and then the Tom Watson goal. If nothing else, you've got to say Sunderland have made a habit of scoring and going to the very end in those games. And they deserve that. They deserve that. The big goal from Dan Ballard and then the big goal from Tom Watson at the end there. They've turned it right. That's sensational. That's really, really good from Sunderland. So, can't knock them. They'll bring that up to the Premier League. And yeah, maybe Jordan Henderson back to Sunderland next season. What do we think? You know, he's not loving it at Ajax, evidently. Ajax not quite working out for him. He might fancy a little turn back to Sunderland. That would be a really, really good story, that, wouldn't it? Jordan Henderson back to Sunderland. Josh Wardle 74, 6 points for us, Newcastle. Hey, don't count your chickens. Don't count your chickens. Sunderland, they've got some talent in the ranks there. They have got some talent in there. Joe Bellingham, not just the only one. You know, I mean, that man there, Luca 9. I know he's no spring chicken, but I thought he's defended really, really well throughout the playoffs. And he was a big loss going off so early. But he's done really well. That Patterson save from Kiefer Moore saved Sunderland, yeah. And he made a big save as well from Brooks as well. From Brooks early in the second half. So Patterson is another one who you've got to say, Patterson's been another hero for Sunderland in this game. It's not just Tom Watson. Patterson, Watson. Dan Neal in midfield has done really well. Mayenda, of course. Brilliant goal from Mayenda. And, of course, Patrick Roberts coming off the bench. It's actually been a big tribute to the manager. You know, the manager has got it right. Bringing on Patrick Roberts, Watson, and Mepham. Yeah, really, really good from them. Daniel Hamer looks like he's off to Coventry. Well, yeah, Hamer will be one for plucking up to the Premier League, won't he? Now they're not coming up to the Prem. You'd have to imagine that Sheffield United will get raided, won't they? They'll get raided. Harrison Burrows will be one. Someone will come and pinch Harrison Burrows, and someone will probably come and pinch Gustavo Hamer as well. Bryn, absolutely made up, mate. Great to see Sunderland back. Yeah. Sub-Stub, hopefully I'd take him back. He's not coming back to Coventry. He's not going back to Coventry, but he might well go to maybe an Everton. You never know. FM No Casual, so many from their academy. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. Jacob up the Villains, Jude and Hendo in the Sunderland midfield next season. There we land. Hey, 193, don't think he'll drop that low again. You never know. You never know. Again, it's not that low. He's going to be a Premier League player next season if he goes to Sunderland. Ben, so excited to have Sunderland back. Really hope they can do it and stay up. Yeah, good to have the Stadium Light back as a Premier League ground. That's good. Tom Watson's about to give his shirt to a fan here. Is he? Is he actually? Oh, I love that. Do you know what? That is really, really good, that. I mean, I don't know if he knows the lad or whatever, but I'll tell you something. Tom Watson, 19 years of age, has just scored in the last minute, basically the last kick of the game, in a Wembley playoff final. That could be the highest point of his career, maybe one of the highest points of his life, and he's just took off his shirt and give it to a young lad in the crowd. You love that. That is exactly what football should be about. That's exactly what footballers do, and you should do that, and I love that. Absolutely love it. Tom Watson, he's earned my respect there. He's one of my favourite young players now. I'll follow his career. Tom Watson scoring that goal and going giving his shirt to a fan in the crowd. Good lad. Really love that. Gal, so happy we've got an actual proper Prem team back. Come on, the Sunderland. Toon Geordie, Jammy Scumberland. Jonathan Guzman, I knew Sunderland would make it. Well, listen. The Scrum Down Live, Jay Bellingham in the next England squad, methinks. No chance. No chance. Daniel O'Hare left Coventry on a free for Premier League football after the club made him. Unlucky. We made O'Hare, but we got him from Villa on a free. Says Sub-Stub. Well, Luca 9 there with his arm in a sling, jubilant, talking to Sky Sports and just saying, I can't believe this. Callum, put it on your diary, 11th of August 2025, 12:30, Sunderland 0, Liverpool 2, Wirtz and Salah scoring. Christ, Mystic Callum strikes again. They deserve that after all the crap they've had to deal with in the past 5 years, says Gow. Jonathan Guzman 791, mouth-watering. Zach Clips, watch the Celtic Aberdeen game. Now, Zach, you've been very, very rude to me in recent lives, so no. I'm not doing anything until you apologise, mate. You ain't getting no more out of me, sunshine. Very rude, angry little soldier. Gow, and there we go. We have the best derby in England back in the Premier League. Jacob up the Villas, every minute counts, eh, Sunderland? Absolutely right, yeah, absolutely. Daniel, Chris Wilder had to ban Hamer from attending Coventry games this season. He still lives there and really loves the club. Do we think Hamer would actually go back to Coventry, though? I'm not sure. I still think that would be a step down for him. If he's competing for challenging for going up. And to be honest, I think he'll more likely go to a Prem club. I think there's Prem clubs who would take him. Maybe Sunderland, funnily enough. I think Sunderland would take him. Dreamy Beamy, the derby is going to be lit. Yes. Tyne-Wear derby next season. Sunderland, absolutely loving it. It's going to be unbelievable. And they're going up, doing the trophy lift now. Look at Dan Neely saying, come on, let's get up there. Playoff final, trophy lift. Kevin Morris, get in Sunderland. Love it. Oh, look at Niall Quinn there. Look at Niall Quinn. Brilliant. I think my dad's had a pint with Niall Quinn at a Liverpool game once. When Liverpool played Deportivo La Coruña about 20 years ago in Spain, Niall Quinn was one of the pundits, and my dad met him. He's a dead nice guy, apparently. Shav Dardale, will Sunderland be in the Premier League next season? They will, yeah. They're back. They are back. Mind your own. Congratulations to Sunderland, yeah. Huge congratulations to Sunderland. They've been absolutely brilliant today. Well, that's not strictly true, actually. They've been crap. For 70 minutes, they were crap. There's Peter Reid and Kevin Phillips loving life. They're absolutely bouncing. Look at that. Reedy and Kevin Phillips. I don't know who that bloke is next to him trying to worm in on the fun. Michael, Sheffield United 10th playoff defeat at 10 attempts. They have the worst playoff record on record, really. Oh God. Callum Tottenham fan, Joe Bellingham won a trophy quicker than his brother at Wembley. Kevin Morris, we'll see you again next season. Nice. Listen, Sunderland deserved that. I do think Sunderland finished the game stronger and they scored 2 sensational goals. They deserved it. They did deserve it in the end. NUFC Kyle, easy 6 points. Come on, listen, it remains to be seen. We'll be live for them next season. We'll be live. Daniel, I think Hamer fits in the bracket of players who excel in the Championship but can't quite cut it in the Premier League. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Jake Curtin, no, he's not happy. He's not happy. There we go. They're going up for the trophy lift here. Mayenda signing trophies on his way up. Look at that. Dan Neil and Ballard obviously trying to see. I think they were agreeing there how they're actually going to lift the trophy together. Dreamy Beanie, get Fabio Barini next season for the vibes. Yeah, the knife. That's how you celebrate, isn't it, Fabio Barini? There he is, Luca 9. Oh, poor lad. How's he going to lift the trophy with his arm in a sling? He's going to have to do one of them, isn't he? Callum, the Tottenham fan, I'm going to head off. Come on, you Spurs. See you later for the Europa Conference League final. That's next week, mate. That's next week. But I'll see you. Yeah, hopefully you're back before then. But if not, I'll see you then. Right. After the trophy lift, by the way, just a quick reminder while the Sunderland fans are gathering on the steps at Wembley to lift the trophy, quick reminder that we are going to be live in just a couple of hours for the German Cup final, the DFB Pokal Cup final, Arminia Bielefeld versus Stuttgart, German DFB Pokal Cup final. That is tonight. At 7 p.m. kickoff, I think it is. Is it 7 p.m. kickoff? I can't remember. Let me double check. While we've got time. It is... Yes, it is. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff tonight. And at 6... Here we go. Hey, there you go. Sunderland are promoted to the Premier League. There's the trophy lift. Yeah, 6 o'clock tonight we're going to be live for Arminia against Stuttgart. Live. Get over to TikTok. Click up here and follow. Make sure you get over to YouTube and subscribe as well. Premier League Dad. We're live every single day on this channel. And we're live in another 45 minutes or so, starting with Arminia Bielefeld against Stuttgart in the German Cup final. And then we've got three lives back-to-back tomorrow. 3 big lives back-to-back tomorrow. Charlton against Leyton Orient, first up in the League One playoff final. Then we're going to do the final day of the Premier League season. Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. Obviously, we'll be doing the trophy lift, Liverpool and Palace as well. And, of course, we're going to do the final day of Serie A, Venezia against Juventus, to see whether Juventus can beat Lazio and Roma to that final Champions League spot. So we've got 3 games tomorrow. The second game today is coming up straight after this. And let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your predictions. Let me know your thoughts. We'll be talking about all sorts of things, as we do in all of these lives. We do chats about teams coming up, transfer rumours. What do you think of Florian Wirtz? What do you think of the next Leicester manager? Who's the next Leicester manager going to be? What do you think of Will Still being appointed Southampton manager? Gravenberch being named Young Player of the Year? Is Alexander Isak going to stay at Newcastle? Jurgen Klopp coming out and having his say about Liverpool fans booing Trent. David Moyes apparently confirming that Everton have made inroads and talks with Liam Delap and Liverpool's Ben Doak. Bruno Fernandes being approached by Al Hilal for £100 million. Is he going to Saudi? What's going to happen to Manchester United? All of that stuff we'll be talking about over the next lives. And obviously this too. Sunderland getting promotion to the Premier League. What a fabulous, fabulous final this was. They've deserved it. Yeah, really, really good performance from Sunderland. And Sheffield United, it's a real shame for them. It is a real, real shame. But yeah, listen, make sure you go and give us a follow. Make sure you click up here. Go and give us a follow. Give us a like. All that good stuff. How many likes are we on? Oh, we're so close to 10k likes. I thought we'd break 10k. But yeah, thanks so much for everyone who commented and liked and everything during the live. We'll be live again in about 40 minutes, 6 p.m. for Arminia Bielefeld against Stuttgart.